after football. For a lot of players, it means going into punditry. Some turn to coaching or working in the game in other ways. But what about the rest? Some former footballers turn their sights away from the game, and there are a few big surprises. First up, from rainbow flicks to pancake flips. Ex-Chelsea and Southampton defender Ken Monku switched up his footballing career to buy a Dutch pancake house. He bought out the shop, which had been his favourite pancake spot as a child, and before long he was mixing the batter and getting behind the stove. Next, Everton legend Thomas Gravesen swapped out the high stakes of the Premier League for those of the poker room. He made over 150 appearances for the Toffees and won the Scottish Premier League with Celtic. Turned out the Danish international was pretty darn good at poker. He racked up a reported £100 million from his Las Vegas adventures. Remember former Chelsea goalkeeper Petr Cech? Turns out football nets weren't the only goals he was pretty handy in front of. After retirement, he became a goaltender in ice hockey. Same skills, very different surface. And he even won a Division 2 title with Guildford Phoenix. For ex-Liverpool centre-back Daniel Agger, it wasn't just fancy footwork that was in his blood. He was also pretty good with his hands. The Denmark international turned to tattoo artistry after he hung up his boots. He'd qualified as a skin artist while at Anfield, and he then became the co-owner of his own tattoo company as well. It's not all glamour for ex-pros, though. 1966 World Cup winner Ray Wilson set up a very different kind of business. He became an undertaker after he retired. Finally, not many people can say they've won both a World Cup and starred in an Oscar-winning film. In fact, there's only one person in the entire world who can say that. Frank Leboeuf, the former Chelsea defender, was part of the 1998 France squad who won the World Cup. He ended up marking Brazil's Ronaldo in the final and helped his side to a 3-0 win. But Leboeuf had already begun acting on the side while he was playing football, and his biggest role came some years after his retirement when he landed the part of a doctor in the Stephen Hawking biopic The Theory of Everything.
I embrace the career of acting, so I want to learn more. So seeing lots of movies is a part of my job.
To be honest, with all the dramatic diving in the game these days, there's probably tons of ex-pros who've got the acting skills to make it in Hollywood.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football. Chance to win it! Oh!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Charlie, do you need the WhatsApp group? It's in the WhatsApp group.
Which WhatsApp group is it in? The new one?
It's in the... I'll tell you what it is. It's in Friday 2nd, Jan H&J.
Yeah, gosh.
If I message it right now...
I've got it. Go, Max. They won't...
here we go.
They'll edit that bit out. Don't worry.
OK. Good afternoon. You're listening to Rushden and Baker on talkSPORT R&B, if you will. And here's Charlie to tell you what cool soul music we're going to throw at you this afternoon.
Hi, Max. What a breathless night of Premier League action last night. Just coming down from the ceiling myself. Don't know about you. Lol. We'll lead the show with Plymouth Argyle, of course. Comedian Josh Widdicombe has a new podcast, and he's going to tell us all about it.
Yeah, also today, the most glass-half-full Spurs fan, Chris Powerross, is here. We'll find out if she can roll yesterday's draw at Brentford in glitter. Kwaku Afari will give his reaction to the Maresca sacking, and we'll do some EFL. Cambridge United up to 5th.
They can't stop winning. We'll get the latest from AFCON as Gabon are suspended by Gabon. Gabon. The transfer window is open, so that's nice. And we'll look ahead at tomorrow's Premier League action with John Bruin.
All that plus an Ali McCoist Clips special and
lovely.
a T20 birthday spread with the king of the toppers, Jeff Peters. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Bob in Kent. Good afternoon, Charlie.
Good afternoon, Max. And also good afternoon to Court7283 on Instagram. He's got in touch with me on Instagram in a nice way, not in a horrible way.
Hello, Court.
And he says, could you give a big shout out for Sunderland when you start? All I'm hearing is that Man City dropped points and not enough about how hard we played and worked. What a team. I'm putting my trust in you, Charlie. And I think you can agree, Max. It really is the mark of the man that I read that out.
The mark of the man. Who said that last on New Year's Eve?
Some people just
that's
think
too much, isn't it?
That's what I'm like, Max.
Too
it's
much.
the mark of the man. It really is.
I liked the Gabon. I once had a dream that I was on X Factor,
Oh, yeah.
but I sang Danon, and then Louis Walsh told me that I'd picked the wrong song. It was a short
really?
song.
It was short, though, wasn't it?
I sang it well. Yes, well, it was. I mean, yes, that was. I'm in a way annoyed with Palace and Fulham for scoring goals yesterday.
Yeah.
Because I'd have loved a whole. This is 0-0. It's 0-0
In the greatest league in the world, to be 4-0
greatest
nils.
league. Yeah. Because the amount of time, and it is, we are guilty. Everyone is guilty of this at talkSPORT. Well, apart from us. But, every time it's good, they go, and this is why it's the best league in the world. And I bet on comms yesterday, no one went, and this is why it's the worst league in the world. I mean, and actually, like, Sunderland were brilliant, but I only watched the highlights of that game because I watched the entirety of Brentford-Tottenham. And I think anybody who watched all of that should get paid by somebody. Because, like, Brentford were good either. I mean, the headline is Tottenham and Thomas Frank getting booed, and Tottenham were and are insipidly boring. But I mean, nobody was good. It was like you and I have seen that football match. At
so
non-league,
many
League
times
Two.
at non-league
So
level.
many times, just somebody just hooking it over their head, just hook it a bit further up the pitch. That's where we want the ball to be. So just hook it over your head, just fullback slicing it out of play. And it just sort of, those clearances that they look like they might stay in, but then they bounce and just roll out.
It goes away, and then and then you bring the sub
So
on.
many
Oh, maybe the
throw-ins.
sub will do something, and then they do nothing at all. They're like worse. It doesn't even have to be a 0-0. I was at Chelmsford away a couple of seasons ago for a Torquay game near Christmas, and we're 2-0 down with about 10 minutes to go. And I'm stood there. It's near Christmas. I have a daughter who is 8 at that point, right? And like that is the most Christmassy age, 8.
Yeah.
And I am stood with a bunch of very nice but, sweaty, stinking blokes. In Chelmsford, which is not where you want to be near Christmas, in a pitch that has an athletics track round it. The players couldn't be bothered. No one was trying to come back from 2-0. It was cold. I just stood there. It was awful. Just go, what am I doing here? What am I doing with my life? And this, as I always say, is my favourite thing to do. This is the thing I'm most passionate about is football and watching this football club. And you go, sometimes you have to question your life choices, as I imagine the people did yesterday when they were in.
Well,
at least
we'll
they have a long
happily
way to
take
go.
those. We'll happily take those on the text 810 or a voice note 03717223334, or even a phone call if it's good.
Yes.
The real details here, not just like I think this every week at Plymouth or whatever it is. Genuine. If you can remember an exact moment, I can remember LDV Vans or whatever it was called to Cheltenham at home. Was 0-0. It went into extra time, and also Luton away. And I think it was the season we got to the final, which must have been 04, 05. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But Luton away, and it must be on record as the coldest anywhere on earth has been, including both Arctic circles. Yeah, it honestly
won't be colder
was.
than Oldham. Oldham is the coldest by a long, long way.
I know Oldham is the coldest, but Kenilworth Road on a certain night can really hit you. And it was so boring. It was so boring. Like, we were just sitting there like everybody. It wasn't just me having an existential crisis. The whole stadium.
But how old are you, Max? Because I think a lot of the time, if you're like a student or in your 20s, then it's like something to do, though, isn't it? If you've got like a family and a complete fulfilling life, at home.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're there on your own at this terrible game. You're going, oh, no.
On your own. On your own.
On
is
your
bad,
own.
Charlie. On your own. Like, that is.
But once I went on my own, once I went on my own on Boxing Day, leaving my complete family at home. No one else wanted to go. And it was 5-4. We won 5-4.
Oh, okay.
So that was the opposite.
That is the opposite. But yeah, the time when you've had a total existential crisis, because it can be bad. Like, you love the game, but you have to be honest. It was so bad. That was such a bad football match.
Court 7283 has been back in touch. Yes, Charlie, thank you.
Mark of the man.
And it should say hashtag mark of the man, but I'll be getting that going in the new year. So, hashtag go get it while we speak.
The point is, there are, we ignore this as football fans, don't we? That there is, you don't know what I'm going to say, Charlie. You said yes.
What do we ignore?
We ignore. I'd like you to finish the sentence. Well, the symbiotic relationship we have.
I was looking at something else. I am now listening.
That's okay. We forget there's an opposition, right? And they're trying to stop you doing exactly the thing you're trying to do. Yeah. So, it's quite hard for the players.
The moment last night when Ekatike's header that was on the line, I don't know if you saw it, but it was a lot.
When he headed it against the head of the...
Yes, instead of into the net.
I mean, Frimpong did put that in at some point.
It was a bit hard.
I'll give him a pass for that. Jimbo says, the sat at Spurs last season, so bored, the three of us decided to debate if G Suite is better than Microsoft and New Low. I don't even know what that is.
Oh, no. Oh, dear.
That is funny. Yeah, I think someone was watching the darts at Tottenham last night. I saw someone
were they?
Just on their phone.
The darts was great. The darts was superb last night.
Derby v Millwall 2010 third round FA Cup replay, says this text. By far the coldest I've ever been at football. Everyone knows Stoke is the coldest place on earth, especially on a Tuesday night. I drove my black cab from Barnet to Newport on Boxing Day just gone. 0-0 draw against the team bottom of the table. Terrible game. My favourite thing to do.
It's my favourite thing to do.
Let's look, we'll take your text on that. 81089 at Max Rushden at Baker's tweet. So Josh Whittaker will join us. He has a new podcast. I mean, I should be able to.
You should be able to say podcast A, and thank goodness Josh Whittaker's getting into the podcast game.
He's dipping his toe in.
It's been too long.
Wish him luck. So we'll find out about that and ask him, a question about Plymouth as well. It is Max Rushden Charlie Baker on talkSPORT, brought to you with the good people of Tool Station. Stay one step ahead, whatever the job. Next stop, Tool Station.
and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. Been taking you through what should be another busy day of football. Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Good afternoon. You are listening to Rushden and Baker on talkSPORT. Me and Charlie between now and 4 o'clock on the worst game you've ever seen. On actually just when you've had an existential crisis about what you're doing. Here's a text. I spent a Boxing Day match at Flint Town United in the second tier of the Welsh Pyramid.
Ouch.
I promised my family I'd be home for 5:30. The match was postponed for 20 minutes as the last remaining match ball went over the fence into the estuary. And then the ref played the additional 25 minutes of added time. Ended 0-0.
And you had everyone you love at home waiting for you. Amazing.
Paul says, I went to watch AFC Rushden away to Beaconsfield a few years back. We were 4-0 down at half-time. I threw in the towel and left at half-time to go and experience the delights of Beaconsfield service station instead.
Well, it is pretty good. It is a pretty good
choice.
one. As Jeff Norcott says, you could have a stag do there because there's a pub and there's a travel lodge. And a restaurant, so you could have your stag do at Beaconsfield service.
Such a brilliant idea to tell your mate to bring his passport and everyone then just go to Leicester Forest East. Anyway, let's look back at a creditable point for Plymouth away at Stevenage in the company of comedian Josh Whittaker. Welcome, Josh.
Hello, Josh.
I don't know how much looking back there is to a creditable point at Stevenage.
Hey, a point's good for Plymouth at the moment. You're happy with that, aren't you?
Every point's a prisoner, Charlie. Every point's a prisoner. You know that. Not my words, the words of Plymouth's greatest manager, Paul Sturrock.
Oh, wow. He was good. He was good.
Were they the glory days? What were the glory days?
Tommy Tynan.
They were the glory days.
Oh, they were.
You what, sorry,
Not Tommy
Charlie?
Tynan. Not Tommy Tynan in the 80s.
No, because I wasn't alive.
Oh,
Well, I was alive, but I wasn't. No, but they weren't actually as high. The best we've ever been is, I would say, probably when we were fourth around the turn of the year in the Championship, and then Ian Holloway left.
Oh.
And so that is that's probably our. But Paul Sturrock's essentially 2 promotions in 3 years. He left in like April of the second one, but we give him that.
We'll give it Sturrock, yeah.
But that's do you know that's a continuum because it then went on via someone else, a couple of other people, to Ian Holloway.
Yeah.
Got it. And have you forgiven Ollie for leaving?
Yeah, of course. Because I don't take things like that personally, because you'd have to be clinically insane to think a man moving to a job where he's paid more deserves your.
And I will never forgive him.
In the same way.
I'm not sure you should have called that
you
talkSPORT, Josh.
Sorry.
You should have called us.
Is that not the attitude?
You're never going to get the breakfast show like that, Josh.
I would forgive, in the same way I'd
forgive that
forgive
guy,
you
actually.
two if this went to Netflix. I wouldn't go, they've let down talkSPORT and the listeners. I think we'd have to say Baker and Rushden on Netflix, they had to do it. Not that I'm saying Leicester City and Netflix. That's very.
I suppose the cat's out of the bag now, Charlie.
Well, that's
we are
it.
off to Netflix
Josh, I
in
asked you not to tell
2026.
everyone that was happening.
Sorry.
It is a surprise for some that Netflix have invested all their profits in the two of us. But look, we'll give it a good
Particularly
old
with the
go.
quality of your sound from Australia, Max. It does feel like.
He's got good sound, good quality.
Got a new microphone, Josh. It's meant to be better than yesterday's.
Is it? Okay,
Yeah. Is it not as good? I can always plug the other one in if you.
No,
if there's a
it's
problem.
fine. I can hear you. I'm good to hear you.
Now we're
Okay,
talking
good.
about
Give me-
microphones. Josh, tell us about your new podcast. I know
Do you not
have-
want to hear more about Stevenage versus?
Well, we can do. I'm surprised.
I
If you
don't-
want to
I've
get
got
into it,
nothing more.
I'm surprised Jamie Reid didn't score, to be honest. Jamie Reid is I think their top scorer this season. He's scoring loads for Northern Ireland. He might go to the World Cup. Jamie Reid at the World Cup, would be... to have Ollie Watkins, potentially, and Jamie Reid, both from within 5 miles of where we were born, Josh, at
Exactly.
the World Cup would be
What
absolutely
have we done with our
insane
lives,
for Newton
Charlie?
Abbott.
What have we done with our lives? It would be huge for Newton Abbott. Almost as big as when Trago started charging for plastic bags. But let's not go into that.
Is your new podcast called Jamie Reid at the World Cup, Josh? I'm excited to listen.
And it's currently not going to be released, I imagine. Jamie Reid at the World Cup. Do you want to talk about my new podcast?
Yes, I'd love to.
Well, you
yeah.
definitely do.
Well, I do,
give it to
yeah.
us.
There's no other reason why I'm cowering in a room in a holiday let. But away from the children. It's called. Obviously, you're in as good level interviewers. You've listened to all of them, but Josh Widdicombe's Museum of Pop Culture. It started yesterday, and it's basically, you get these boring podcasts or good podcasts, but about dry subjects like history or politics,
or what someone did yesterday.
True crime.
A terrible idea. That.
War off, yeah. I've wanted a podcast that tells the great stories from popular culture in the way that history's told on The Rest is History, which is brilliant, or Uncanny tells ghost stories. No one did it, so I was like, well, I'm just going to make this.
Yeah.
So we've started with telling the story of the rise and fall of Mr. Blobby and Noel Edmonds, and I've got to be honest,
Fantastic.
Yeah.
it is one of the great stories. And I'll give you a
Blobbyland,
sneak.
doesn't Blobbyland still exist, but it's like shut down and like...
Yeah. Well, we do cover that, and it was found in a wood. It's still in a woods, kind of derelict.
I mean, I have, of
Blobbyland.
course, listened, so,
Yeah, of course. Well, that episode's not out yet,
No,
Charlie.
no,
but
damn, I'm being uncovered.
Don't worry, Charlie. I think that ship sailed a while ago.
We all knew that a long time ago, don't worry.
I think you're okay.
you get back to Jamie Reid, Charlie. You'll be set on safer ground.
Sorry, carry on. About Mr. Blobby.
The Blobby story is, the Blobby story is bad, Josh, that anyone of sort of our age, like this guy, he was absolutely enormous, Blobby.
This is the thing. We think we remember it, but actually, when you go back, we've got TV researchers that do the research, and then I kind of turn it into a script, and then I tell like a comedian these stories over a few episodes. And until you actually think about what happened, we all kind of almost deleted it from our memory. But it was a one-note joke they did to prank celebrities that got so out of hand that it led to a #1 single. There's a fact which I dispute, said by someone that worked for the kind of Blobby Corp, Noel Edmonds Corp, that they said in the mid-90s, every household in the UK had a piece of Blobby merchandise, which isn't true. It isn't true.
No, I can say for certain that one didn't.
Oh, yeah.
I can't see.
Max didn't have the Mr. Blobby oboe.
There was a Mr. Blobby lampshade, which feels like a huge call to put a lampshade in your sitting room.
Josh, was it one person who always did Mr. Blobby, or was it several people?
Yeah, it was a man
whoever
called
was
Barry
available?
Killerby. He was a Shakespearean actor.
Right.
And
amazing.
there's an incredible photo of him.
Malvolio to this.
Yeah.
Classically trained love. Blobby.
He gets papped because Blobby's so big. Obviously, the tabloids are desperate for Blobby facts, so they pap him walking into his house, and he's carrying a bin bag containing what looks like a body, but it's Mr. Blobby. It's him
A bin
with
bag.
a bin bag.
He carried Blobby around in a bin bag.
Yeah.
This is new levels of disrespect. That's his income.
Yeah, of course. That's his. And he's a Shakespearean actor. Although I should say I don't want to ruin it for everyone, but I suppose that's what promo is. The next job he gets after Mr. Blobby was Chuckle Vision, so he very much got
He had a style.
He got typecast by doing Blobby. It's
sounds
so
great.
good looking back on these stories.
And what else can we expect?
The next one we're doing is Stock Aitken and Waterman, which is incredible. Did you know Pete Waterman? This is mad.
Steam trains? No.
Get this. Yeah, steam trains, of course, but he couldn't write until his read and write.
Right.
Until he learnt to read and write at the height of Stock Aitken and Waterman. Until that, and the reason he couldn't read and write is, growing up in Coventry post-war at his school, he had 63 kids in his class.
Wow. That is a lot, isn't it?
And they didn't have enough money for pen or paper, so they were taught to read and write by just doing it in midair. Like just miming writing.
Mid-air.
Holy moly. That's extraordinary.
And then there he was with all his pop stars miming.
He was like, if it's good enough for me.
He thought, why are these people writing?
You don't need to use your voice. I didn't use ink for 40 years of my life.
Oh, it's impressive that he learned, Josh, isn't it? That's really impressive.
Do you know what? Well, the thing with doing these stories is you come out of it with such a... Because these people are kind of incredible geniuses with all that brings, but you don't think of them that like that because it's so-called low culture. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you're like...
When you think of Stock Aitken and Walkman, when you think of how many people are trying to do what they did...
They were basically had as many hits as the Beatles.
Yeah, creating pop music is what everyone is trying to do with music. Yeah. Big selling pop music. That's what everyone is trying to do. And they did it by the bucket load. Amazing.
Exactly. It's incredible. It's like, people go around and they go, anyone can write a pop song. Anyone can, anyone can do stand-up. Anyone can get people to call in about Jamie Reid. But it's difficult, Charlie. It's
Anybody can annoy Will Carling in a massive pink suit with spots.
Anyone could be Mr. Blobby.
It's not. Barry Killerby turned it into an art form.
Pure art form, yeah.
Pure art form.
So do you think, you're ruining whoever makes the rest is history in about 100 years' time? Does it make you think...
Wow, yeah, you've done it. Sorry, mate, done it, yeah.
This is the thing, I think, not to, make too big a claim, but really, isn't culture and sport, we're far more interested in that day to day. So that is actually the history of the 90s.
Yeah.
When you think about now, I bet you think more about football. I bet you think more about Ruben Amorim and Taylor Swift than you do about Keir Starmer day to day. Yet when history comes to be written, it's all about Keir Starmer.
It's true. I'm more interested in what Maureen from driving school is up to.
Exactly.
Than I am, sort of what Tony Blair is doing now.
Yeah, exactly. And who caused more damage, am I right? But let's not...
Hey.
So it's quite painstaking. This is because that's the thing about this podcast compared to, say, your parenting one, where you can just
phoning it in, Matt. Is that what you're going to say? Is that what you're going to say? Lazy
I'm going to say,
phoning it in.
As a host of a podcast that requires...
So tell us about your kids.
Well, I just say, as a host of a podcast that requires no preparation in what did you do yesterday, parenting is very much right. We'll go through this journey of talking about your kids, whereas this is actually, even though you're talking about Mr. Blobby, you actually have to do this. You have to be factually correct. Well, I presume you do to make it work. Well, that's the story, is the truth of it. And so that requires proper work.
We've got TV researchers that we hire to do the research, and we also have loads of archive that we include, and we've basically gone, let's make this as impossible to make as possible. Let's make this really expensive and impossible, so it's not financially viable unless it's bigger than EastEnders was in 1985.
Great years.
Thank you, Josh.
Which I'm sure we will
Little
cover.
Mo, brilliant.
Jamie's been in touch, Josh, to say
Jamie Reid.
Has Jamie Reid been in touch?
It's just Jamie. He said, I've also never had anything Blobby related. And Paul says, please stop talking about Stevenage Plymouth. It cost me 250 quid, ACCA, and I'm trying to get over it. We must end the call now.
Please gamble responsibly.
Thank you, Josh. Good luck with the podcast.
Thank you. Love you both.
Josh
always.
Whittaker's Museum of Pop Culture. Download it, I believe, wherever you get your podcast. Thank you, Josh. Cheers, pal.
Bye.
All right, Josh Whittaker there. We will spend more time later in the show looking at Stevenage Plymouth in detail. So don't worry about that. I'd not spent a long time thinking about Blobby we didn't even get on to Noel Edmonds. There's a fascinating story. Right, you are listening to Max Rushden Charlie Baker on talkSPORT in partnership with Toolstation. Stay one step ahead, whatever the job. Next stop, Toolstation. What are we doing next? We're doing a bit of Spurs next.
When was the last time you saw someone score with a knuckleball free kick? We're going to take a look at why we're not seeing them anymore and explain a bit about how they work. The knuckleball peaked in the 2010s after that Ronaldo strike against Portsmouth in 2008 inspired academy players everywhere. Here's a young Mason Mount.
I tried to base my free kick on Ronaldo, hit the ball by the valve and it moves. So what do you do? Top corner.
Now, no ball is perfectly aerodynamic, so as it travels it creates ever-changing pockets of turbulent air, causing that unpredictable movement. Football's most prolific free kick taker, Juninho Pernambucano, perfected the technique but didn't invent it. He was inspired by players from the 90s and even the 50s. So how do you do it? You have to hit the ball head on with as short a contact time as possible so the ball doesn't spin. Hitting by the valve helps with that short contact time, as it's the hardest part of the football. So why don't we see knuckleballs much anymore? It's because players are being told not to shoot from dead ball situations because the XG is so low. In fact, as Opta shows here, since the 08-09 season there's been a 10% reduction in players shooting from free kicks in the Premier League. And in 23-24, a record low of 11 free kicks found the back of the net. And the knuckleball, though spectacular, is imprecise, which is why it's becoming a thing of the past.
26k for 2026 on talkSPORT.
talkSPORT is kicking off 2026 by giving you the chance to win a massive £26,000. At midday on the 9th of January, we'll be calling one lucky winner with a guaranteed payment made that day. One of you could pocket 26 grand. It's 26k for 2026. Here's how to enter, Charlie.
For your chance to win, text WIN 800 to 83338. WIN to 83338. Text costs £2.50 plus your standard network rate, or call 0343 423 9761. 0343 423 9761. Lines close 12 p.m. 9th of January 2026. That's when you'll need to answer your phone if it rings. UK residents only, 18 plus. This is a network promotion. Full T's and C's at talksport.com/win. For your chance to win, text WIN to 83338 now. Good luck.
All right, let's do a bit of Spurs. They drew 0-0 at Brentford.
Great.
And Thomas Frank was booed by the Tottenham fans. We can speak to a Spurs fan and broadcaster, Chris Power. Hey, Chris.
Hello, Chris.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year, Chris.
Now, listen, Chris.
Perhaps.
I wanted to get you on because you are the most, we obviously get a variety of Tottenham fans on, and you are by a stretch the most optimistic and positive that there is. And I want to see if you can, I want to know if you are positive and optimistic.
Unbeaten in 2026, Max.
Yeah.
It's true.
Point on the road, Chris. Point on the road is not bad, is it?
That's all I've got. Look, I think the frustration right now is simple in the sense that we've got no zip, there's no tempo, there's no sense of threat, there's no feeling that something's about to happen. And that 0-0 last night just totally summed it up. You know, it's the first goalless draw in, 137 games or something. And that's ironically since the game against Brentford. And I don't know, is that the Thomas Frank way? I think he's probably really good for the culture. You know, he's calm, credible, organised. But culture alone doesn't necessarily win games, unless of course you build it over time. And I think the challenge here is I'm not sure there's going to be enough time if the football doesn't match the badge.
Sorry, Chris, to interrupt.
Wins more often.
Yeah,
but this isn't it.
Yeah, to play devil's advocate, I try to do that because it was insipidly boring. It isn't just yesterday's performance, right? Brentford's home record is really good. It's the fourth best in the Premier League, right? They are just Brentford, but the only teams with a better home record are Arsenal, Man City, and Aston Villa, right? So this is perhaps on paper the fourth hardest game you have in a season, right? Because their home record is better than anyone's away record, actually. And so getting a point there is not bad. Like, it's not bad. And they are a good football team. And the criticism is that Spurs fans are entitled. And we are missing all the players that can pass the ball, right? Like anyone. Siemens is out, Kulusevski's out, Maddison's out. So do we need to wait for a Thomas Frank side when you have some creative players in it to see if it's any better than this?
I think the answer to that is obviously yes, because I think, you know, if you look at, there was one game where last time we beat them, it was 3-0 and the goal scorers were Solanke, Maddison and Kulusevski. I can't remember which game it was. It was quite recent. But I think the problem is that you still, regardless of what players are there, I can't see what that identity is in a way that's a Spurs team. So, yes, I mean, you know, you don't want to continue to chop and change. It's just, I say there's, you know, no zip and no tempo. And that pivot of Bentancur and Paulinho is just miserable. They're both decent players, but they want the game, they want to play the game in the same space. They're too deep, too safe, control without creativity. The ball's being passed sideways, not forward. You know, I saw something was sort of saying, you know, when we played Crystal Palace, it was like, you know, Adam Wharton likes to pass the ball forwards and Amazon just weren't doing it. Everything is just slowed down. The forwards are sort of starved of anything. I mean, look, we haven't got a huge amount of creativity up front. You know, we've just talked about Maddison, Kulusevski and Solanke. But, you know, like you saw last night, we're feeling it as fans. You know, there were chants for Dele Alli, for Moussa Dembele, for Eric Dyer. And that's nostalgia for identity, for bravery, for midfielders who take risks. You know, someone who turns on the ball and makes something happen rather than just recycling it sideways.
I mean, to dare is to do. For some reason, I know the Spurs motto. I don't know why I know it, but I know it. I don't know other football clubs' mottos. But to dare is to do. That they're not daring, so they're not doing. And Thomas Frank's way is not to dare to do. So I don't know if he's the right manager or if he needs a window. I think he needs a window. I think you at least give him a window, see who he signs, see who these new owners want to sign. But for some reason, that's the club's motto. They're not living up to it.
I guess the problem is as well, given a window, but the January transfer window is notoriously difficult. You know, it's not where you make big moves necessarily. Okay, you can pick out Virgil van Dijk coming in a January transfer window, but that's unusual. And the issue is, you know, if you look where we are in the table, it's really tight in there. I think there are 3 teams that are worse than us, and I say I'm an optimist. I don't, I genuinely don't think we're gonna.
Oh yeah, better than West Ham, Chris. It's all right. You're all right.
But there are fans that are worried about that, and I don't just think that's because, because we're entitled. I think there might have been issues last season, and I'm not harking back to Ange because I do think finishing 17th isn't acceptable, but at least there was a bit of like swashbuckling endeavour.
Yeah,
it went down to 9 men against, who was that? Was that Liverpool? Against
Chelsea.
Liverpool.
That was
Chelsea. Well, no, this.
the Liverpool one.
Yeah, it was Liverpool. Yeah. We played great with 10 men, and with 9 men, we suddenly decided we wanted to play football. So I guess I'm also worried about like someone like Mickey van der Ven. And it's like, how long is Mickey van der Ven going to want to be in this team? So I think we have to signal some kind of intent, whether that's about the transfer window. And look, I'm not advocating for chopping and changing managers constantly, but I want to feel like he's our kind of manager from a footballing sense. I think, as I say, from in terms of culture, being an educator, wanting to develop players, wanting to make sure that you've got good people in the team, and people that want to play together and all of that. Perfect. But you want to see something on the pitch. And
you don't want to see something on the pitch. It doesn't seem too much to ask.
Feels like a lot, doesn't it?
It is something because, like last night, it was miserable.
Oh, so bad. So bad. What do you think of Brennan Johnson going?
I'm really sad about Brennan Johnson going. I mean, again, I think there's, sort of some debate. It's like, usually we can't get rid of players if they're not good enough, but I'm not sure that he's 24, which I know is a sort of a decent age, but I think he definitely can contribute something. And he's, made his mark in Spurs history, scoring that goal, even if it was a scrappy one. And I do think within the right setup, he's a decent player. And I think he'll shine for Crystal Palace. And that's not the sort of player I want to see us get rid of. So I'm actually quite sad about that.
Yeah. So even you're not really optimistic. So
I know,
just tell us.
Really sad, Max.
It's a close league. 2 wins, 3 wins, and suddenly it could all change. Chris.
Yeah. But where are the wins going to come from, though, Max? That's the problem, right? If like Richarlison's stats are great, but if you watch him play football, I mean, he's a great guy. I love his energy. I love the chaos. I love the stuff that he does in his home country, all of that. But do you know what I mean? It's like he's got no control. It is just chaos. And, I want to see more up front, but also, like, I say midfield for me is the problem. And, and Xavi Simons, that sending off, that was, for me, that was enthusiasm to demonstrate to us that he cares and he loves it and he's up for it. It was a stupid tackle. And now here we are without his creativity for 3 games.
Yeah. Oh, well, Chris, onwards and upwards.
Happy New Year to you, Chris.
Happy New Year, Chris. Always nice to talk.
And it's your favourite thing.
I still think we're going to beat Sunderland on Sunday.
Yeah, you always do. Can't help it. Cheers, Chris. Chris Powers there, broadcaster and Tottenham fan. Ben says, love the show. As always, Max, it feels crazy Spurs and West Ham fans are always talking about playing the Tottenham way, the West Ham way, attacking style. I'm 41. I can barely remember either team playing in that way in my lifetime. It's a really good point. Well, look, true to form, that it's terrible. But I like Thomas Frank so much that I really want to see him with a creative players in the midfield. We'll do some Chelsea next. Quaker Fari will join us.
Need to stop employing managers that people like. That's what it is. I like him, so I'm giving.
But they've also managed. No, hang on. Conte and Jose. People didn't like them. They were also bad. It's just there were clubs.
We've got a break, Max. I've started a new thing. We've got a break.
Fine. Okay, we'll do Chelsea next.
and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football. Chance to win it! Oh! Oh!
Yeah! We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Good afternoon. You are listening to Max Rushden and Charlie Baker on talkSPORT in partnership with Toolstation. Gear up for those darker nights with electrical and lighting offers. Next up, Toolstation. Let's talk to Kwaku Afari, Chelsea fan, talkSPORT's very own. Hey, Kwaku.
Hello, Kwaku.
How you guys getting on?
Yeah, really good, thanks.
Very good.
Really
I mean,
good.
totally unsurprised that Chelsea sacked the manager. I wonder, as a Chelsea fan, because you do it all the time and you win trophies, does it bother any Chelsea fans? I mean, you have to have an opinion on your club, but it's so anathema to the way everybody talks about football, what Chelsea do.
Yeah, it's a difficult one as a Chelsea fan because I think other clubs are built in different images, right? You look at Liverpool and in terms of their long-term managers in the past, never having sacked a manager that's won the league. You look at Manchester United, had Alex Ferguson for all those years. Arsenal, who had Arsene Wenger for all those years. Those clubs and those fan bases are used to tenured managers and they're almost looking for them. Hence why there's still support from some Man United fans for Ruben Amorim. They want to find a guy that's going to be there for 10, 15 years. Whereas Chelsea fans are more used to the chopping and changing, a kind of regime brought about by Roman Abramovich. And so for Chelsea fans, we are a little bit numb to it. This does feel slightly different though, because like I mentioned, all those clubs and all those fan bases, they've had issues with their owners historically. If you think about the Glazer out protests, you think about Arsenal's previous issues with the Cronkies before they had an upturn in form. Think about FSG out with Liverpool. Chelsea fans were probably the only fan base of a top team in the country that loved their owner, Roman Abramovich. We all know about the reason why he had to sell the club, and for good reason. But Chelsea fans are in an unfamiliar position right now where there are going to be protests later on in January against this board. And that's why I think Chelsea fans are in unfamiliar territory. The fact that there is not one Chelsea fan that I've talked to that's on board with this current regime in terms of what Blue Co are doing to the club and how they're running the football club.
Do you think
and what is it specifically they don't like? So I was going to say, what do they specifically not like? Because they've spent 1.6 billion on players
and won some trophies.
Yeah, so it's the approach, right? It's the P word, project, and we understand that it has to be given time. A lot of times there's not instant gratification, not instant success. But unfortunately, that's how Chelsea have been built. Chelsea have had instant success. Think about Chelsea's trophy history, winning the Champions League. That was instant success in 2012, bringing in Roberto Di Matteo to replace AVB. Winning the Champions League in 2021, bringing in Thomas Tuchel to replace Frank Lampard. Chelsea fans are used to instant success. Not saying that it's the most healthy kind of way to view football, but the problem Chelsea fans have got is that they feel like they've been given false promises. Oh, wait until these players develop and become a group of young, exciting players that can go and challenge for league titles. We all saw the glaring gaps in Chelsea's squad at the beginning of the season. Everyone could have named it to a man. It was a goalkeeper and a centre-back. And those issues weren't addressed. And instead, we bring in a multitude of wingers that we're told in 2 or 3 years' time they're going to be great players. But in terms of building an actual squad that's ready to compete here and now, the owners haven't done that for Chelsea. And that's why fans are frustrated.
I mean, the things that Maresca they have said has done, which is sort of go and speak to other clubs. I mean, this is what Chelsea have intimated that they've done. Right? He's done is go and speak to other clubs while he's the manager of the club. He picked players that he was told not to because they weren't fit. These are all things that Chelsea Football Club have said that Maresca did. Also, fans weren't loving the football. You weren't loving the football, were you, Quaker? I know Andy Jacobs wasn't loving the football. There are 2 Chelsea fans that I know. And for that, I know he won 2 trophies, but for that, you do sort of go, well, then he's not going to be Chelsea manager then, is he? So this doesn't feel like a shock decision.
It doesn't feel like a shock decision. There's a PR battle being played right now. in terms of Maresca coming out after the win against Everton a few weeks ago, and coming out and saying that the 48 hours leading to that game was the worst he's had in terms of his time at the football club, their PR battle started then. And what he successfully did, Maresca, is within those kind of 2 or 3 weeks between the Everton game and where we're at right now, Chelsea fans start to turn in terms of their opinion of Maresca, in terms of him actually speaking out about how he's feeling and about how Chelsea fans are feeling as well. And when he was asked about it in terms of nailing down who he's talking about, he made a clear point of saying it's not about the fans, I love the fans. And that I definitely felt was the turning point between Maresca and the Chelsea fans. And so when the news came through the other day about him being sacked, there were Chelsea fans that were fuming. Of course, there's been ups and downs. People haven't been enamoured by the football. But in terms of the remit that Enzo Maresca was given, last season qualifying for the Champions League, check. Win the Conference League, of course, that's almost done by default in terms of the strength of Chelsea's team. And also win the Club World Cup in incredible fashion. He has hit every kind of metric that he was supposed to hit. And look at what the squad he's been given in terms of, he mentioned at the beginning of the season when Levi Colwill went down with ACL injury, he said, we need a centre-back. The briefing from the club about a week later was like, we're not bringing anybody in. And you wonder why Chelsea are struggling. I think the PR battle's been going on from the beginning of the season till now, and I think Maresca's winning it.
Do you think that Chelsea fans would like, because Maresca, by all accounts, didn't like the fact that he didn't have as much control as he wanted, and the fact that other people were, on the coaching, on in the training ground, in the dressing room, even, but you never hear from any of them. Like, would you like a big press conference with everybody, sporting director, owner, the medical staff saying this is why, Reece James can't play this game or whatever? Like, would that, because at the end of the day, Maresca's the only person that's ever put in front of a microphone.
I think it'd be hypocritical for me to ask for that now when my previous stance was owners, the hierarchy of football clubs, they're custodians of the football club, and they should essentially shut up and put their money up and deal with things behind the scenes. I don't want to hear from my owner. I don't want to hear from the sporting directors. That's not necessarily their job. I feel like Jim Ratcliffe coming out and speaking so publicly sometimes undermines the manager, sometimes cause a more confusing situation. And so I don't necessarily want to hear from Egbali or Winstanley or Stewart. I don't want to hear from those guys. I just want to see improvements in terms of our recruitment process, and that's not happening. And that's the frustrating part for a Chelsea fan.
Yes, I mean, I suppose you don't want them to come out and say things that Jim Ratcliffe says, but that's like, you want to hear them say things that sound good, right? I mean, that's slightly different.
Don't say the terrible things. Yeah, no, you're right.
That's a really interesting point. Liam Rosenior then is, he obviously, it will be interesting to see if Blue Co-owned Chelsea can prize him away from Blue Co-owned Strasbourg, but I think he's a brilliant coach. I think he's a really well-spoken guy. I'd love to see him, manage at this level. And like me and Charlie were saying, like, he can't really say no. Like, he's in the same ownership model. Like, what can he do? But do you think it's a good appointment? Because you have an inexperienced squad and an inexperienced manager. That's a tricky, that will obviously be thrown at Chelsea whenever they don't win a football match.
Yeah, I don't know if he would be the right man for the job. I want him to succeed. Having worked with him briefly, I really like the cut of his jib. I like the way that he talks, and he's very considered, and he's doing a very good job at Strasbourg. But the pressures that come at Strasbourg is very different to pressures that come at a club like Chelsea. And the ownership group, I think Chelsea fans thought this is a new dawn, a new age, this ownership group. They've been more ruthless than Roman Abramovich. They've got through more managers in their first 3 or 4 years of the football club than Abramovich did. And they've had every type of manager. Whether they inherited Thomas Tuchel, I wouldn't necessarily call him a mercenary, but that kind of manager from that kind of cloth, they've tried that, didn't work. Graham Potter, the English kind of young tactician, it didn't work. Pochettino, again, it was sacrilege bringing in a former Spurs manager, but it didn't work. Then Enzo Maresca, who's viewed initially as a bit of a yes man, that the board's man, a young manager that's trying to cut his teeth at the top level of football, and it hasn't worked. And so I just don't know whether Liam Rosenior will be given the tools at Chelsea to succeed. I really hope that he does
maybe
succeed.
He's played the game well, Quaker. Maybe he's playing at Strasbourg and known that that's the ownership model, and so he's played the game well and knows that that's how they like to work. He's their man. They're business people at the end of the day. They work with business heads. They work with money heads. 100%. It's different to creative and sports people. They're business people, so they push money around in different ways. This is their current way.
Yeah, this is their current way, and that's. It seems so anti-football to talk about stuff like that. I hate that we talk about balance sheets. I hate that we have to talk about FFP. I hate the fact that we have to almost be qualified or chartered accountants to talk about football these days. But that's what these people are. They are investors, and it feels like Chelsea is just part of their portfolio. And that, for all the faults of Roman Abramovich, and we don't need to get into them now, it was a passion project for him. Chelsea being successful, it seemed like that was paramount to him in terms of he wouldn't care how much money he put into the club as long as Chelsea had the best in class every year and were competing for the biggest trophies every year. Back on Liam Rosenior, I definitely think he's played the game well in terms of, in his wildest dreams, when he took the Strasbourg job, he probably thought, I might be able to get the Chelsea job at some point in my career. Again, a lot of things have to fall in place, and these things have fallen into place right now. And all I'd say is good luck to him. Good luck to him. And good luck to anybody who takes the Chelsea job, because this ownership group has shown us that they are ruthless and more ruthless than our previous regime. And it's very tough to succeed in what is a very competitive Premier League.
Thank you, Kwaku. Thanks for coming on, pal.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you, Kwaku.
Kwaku Afari there. It is Max Rushden Charlie Baker on talkSPORT. After the break, we'll be doing an hour on how to become a chartered accountant.
Football fans all have stadiums we love, but do any of us have a pitch that we love? It might sound like an odd question, but pitches can be different sizes with big consequences. Why is that? And what are the actual rules? Back when association football started, pitches could be up to 100 metres wide and 200 metres long. That's longer than Ellen Road. Not the pitch, the stadium. Anyway, UEFA wanted a standard across Europe for international matches, which became 105 metres long and 68 metres wide. But some clubs had been rebels, not intentionally, but because of the stadiums. Take Highbury, for example. It was 5 metres shorter and a metre narrower, meaning away sides had a challenge to adjust. White Hart Lane was exactly the same. And actually, when Spurs temporarily moved to Wembley, they asked the FA to shorten the pitch. The FA, very offended by the sacrilegious suggestion, said no. which in fairness could have actually benefited Tottenham because when they moved into their shiny new stadium, the pitch was exactly the same size as Wembley's. Today, Forest pitch at the City Ground is a big one. It's 2 metres wider than any other pitch in the Premier League. But the smallest of all, Craven Cottage, just 100 metres long and 65 wide. No excuse for not tracking your man. There are a couple of crazy outliers in Europe too. At Napoli's home ground, the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona, the pitch is a whopping 110 metres long. At least they don't play on a slope like Newcastle do. There's a 2-metre incline on the pitch at St James's Park. And don't get me started on the old pitch at Yeovil too. It used to be a slant of 2 metres corner to corner and across the halfway line. So UEFA have their standards. So do the FA, but they do give pitches in England some wiggle room. Pitches can be anywhere between 90 and 120 metres long and between 45 and 90 metres wide. I mean, the rules state you can't have a square pitch, but in theory you could have one that's 91 metres long and 90 wide. Imagine rocking up to play a Sunday League game and the pitch is basically a square. So there are rules and regulations on sizes, with a UEFA standard that roughly everyone follows. But as we all know, size doesn't matter, does it?
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We've been taking you through what should be another busy day of football. Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology.
Hi, good afternoon. You are listening to talkSPORT. Max Rushden and Charlie Baker with you until 4 in partnership with Toolstation. Get winter ready with heating and insulation essentials. Next stop, Toolstation. It's time when I sit back and say, Andy Jacobs, what have you got? And then you turn to me and say, nothing. What have you got?
It's a bits bit, isn't it? It's a bits bit.
It's a bits bit. Yeah, you got any bits?
That's really good.
Yeah, you got any bits? I got some bits.
Yeah, go on then, Max. Give us some bits.
Okay. That's well, why haven't you got any
I was going to pull something out of my head. That's what I normally do, is just discuss. Discuss.
Okay. Well, I'd say, well, this is from Carter, right? Who
Okay,
says, we're on the subject of the worst game you've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
He says, back when Luton were in the National League, me and my brother drove 3 hours to watch us play away at Telford on a Tuesday night. Only around 200 Luton fans there. So cold the pitch was frosting up, you could see the players' footprints.
Oh, yeah.
Really good. Boring 0-0 draw. I think there were only 3 shots on goal the whole game. It was then that I realised what a waste of time my life had become. I bet those 2,000 that went to Exeter yesterday felt the same, but we love it, says Carter.
But as we've as we've said many times about our Saturday show, Max, is the boredom is part of it, surely, because without those boring bits, you don't get the goalkeeper scoring in the 94th minute and you're going wild, do you? So, you know.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We spoke about it a bit on New Year's Eve, the best moment of 2025, which was we never lose at Fratton Park.
Yeah.
We've lost at Fratton Park, the Charlton fans. And I wrote a column about it for The Guardian. And I went and watched the vloggers who did it. One was called Tom and one was called Charlie. This is a modern part of football,
thing,
right? Where some fans come and they film themselves, they film the whole game, and they make these videos where they walk.
I don't understand that. I don't understand that at all. But that's not for me, is it? It's not aimed at me.
This was the point I was going to make, actually, because your instant reaction, I think probably a lot of people listening will be like, there are just too many people filming stuff. Don't film the gig, enjoy the gig. Don't film the game, enjoy the game. But I watched actually them in their entirety. And at the end of the one that Charlie did, he is saying exactly that. It's like, he's filmed himself, singing "We Never Lose at Fratton Park," and then Portsmouth scoring, and then talking about, well, he's obviously going to put it in the piece because that is the journey of a football fan. And then he says, and I'm left here, he's sitting with his mate, and they're in this car, and it's dark. You can just sit, and you can see how cold it is, and he's like, I'm effing freezing. It's 1 a.m, and this is when I question what I'm doing with my life.
Yeah.
But actually, it did change because I think I am of that age, right? When I went to football, there weren't mobile phones, and you lived in the moment.
Yeah.
And in a way, I guess it's made me probably invent what those things were like, like the Newmarket Road end. Even when you see it, it's only half a stand, but at the time it was Galatasaray, it was my San Siro. And so I'm sort of glad that those things aren't caught on camera. But then you can't have it both ways. Like I loved it so much, seeing that footage, seeing these guys, with this camera on their face just at the moment, because it is performative, right? So at times maybe people turn it on, but you can't
forget it's there.
You can't fake that.
No.
But you can't fake that feeling of we've won, we've drawn here, we never lose here. Oh man, we've lost here. You can't fake that. And if I think about like some of the best things in football that I've seen this year, right? So that includes like the Palace fans at Wembley, the FA Cup final, just like seeing the number of Crystal Palace fans who just
experience that by proxy is just
and then also like the when Spurs won the Europa League, it wasn't really at the stadium for me. It was just around the world. It was like Johannesburg, LA, Philadelphia, Dublin. These scenes of just that full-time whistle. And then if you think about Kenny McLean, right? The number of every Scottish person, everyone in the ground was filming that because they were just waiting for full time. And like just so many pubs around. There's just, the one guy going, what are you doing? Yeah. And then the ball goes in.
Yeah.
And so I suppose it's sort of like that. I wouldn't want to be a vlogger at a football match, right? Because I would want to just watch the game. But I think there's a hypocrisy, because I think if I was 20 now, that was probably what I'd be exactly.
That might be what you're doing. Yeah. It's not, you're not every way is for you, but also everything was filmed anyway. I was on Mike Bubbins and Ellis James' podcast this year.
Really good Socially Distant podcast. Really good podcast.
And, you take on clips. And one of the clips I took on that was the 1988 playoff final between us and Swansea at Plainmoor, which I remember as a really brilliant day, although we lost. And I remember it being wet. But someone's filmed it. Someone's put the complete match up on YouTube. And you go, well, it was always filmed. But you're absolutely right. You remember it differently to how it was. But a lot of the time, it was a lot worse than you remember it. The standard of football is just appalling. But then it's no different to what I'm watching now, if I'm honest. But it was so wet. But to see those things back, I'd love some fan reaction from that day, of course. But there isn't any. Yeah. No one thought to ask the fans then, what they thought in 1988.
Yeah, in the same way. And, I wouldn't mind seeing like a video of one of me in a nightclub when I was 18, but I'm glad it's not like every second,
exist.
Like it's just, I'm just not sure I was dancing as well as in my mind, I was dancing.
On my brother's stag do.
Yeah.
I woke up the day after with such a bad back, and I have no idea why I had this bad back, right? And we'd been out to some sort of nightclub the night before, and a week later I was in the local the local paper had a thing called Shots by Rob, which is a photographer that would go around and shoot photographs of people in nightclubs around Torquay and around everywhere. And there was a photo of me backspinning attempting a backspin.
Oh, really?
On
good.
The floor of this nightclub. I thought, that's why I had a bad back.
Actually, this is slightly tangential, but still kind of fits. I was at university with some mates, and we were watching, like police, Milton Keynes police go,
look at these idiots,
arrest the criminals or whatever. And we're all sitting there. There's a bloke. It was a bit of a live at the time, Goose. And then it just went, meanwhile, there's been a disturbance at a nightclub in Milton Keynes. It just cut to him.
It was him.
Leave it out.
Oh, amazing.
There you are. You're on this. Police stop action or whatever.
Goose was there.
Yeah, well,
fantastic.
Anyway, you are listening to Max Rushden Charlie Baker on talkSPORT in partnership with Toolstation. Gear up for those darker nights with electrical and lighting offers. Next stop, Toolstation, and Ali McCoist's Clips of the Week special in just a second.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football. Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
The week on talkSPORT with Toolstation. Next stop, Toolstation.
And now, of course, I was waiting for that man to go talkSPORT Clips of the Week.
Yeah, I don't know if we're allowed to say that, but
only on the podcast. But anyway, yes, obviously it's earlier than a normal Clips of the Week. But for Jeff Peters' reasons, the 3:30 slot is taken. So we've moved this, an Ali McCoist special, to 2:18. And obviously, we love Ali McCoist. Ali McCoist loves time difference. There's mutual love here. But it doesn't mean that he can avoid a Clips special. Do you want to start? Shall I start? What do you
just said you fiddled with the script. My script is printed out.
So
yours has been fiddled with. So
I'm fiddling with mine. Okay, I'll begin then. Here is Ali McCoist is still as sharp as a tack. Listen as he demonstrates how he never forgets anything.
What did he throw for 61?
Oh,
Treble
I can't remember. I think he got a couple of 20s. I don't know if he got a
do you know what he got? It's ingrained in my brain because I counted it up wrong. He got treble 12. Well, I actually wrote it down yesterday. Didn't I? What did he get? He got a treble 12 anyway, and something else.
Ingrained on his brain.
Ingrained. He remembers every goal he ever scored. Ingrained on his brain. He wrote it down. And something else. Very nice. This time on talkSPORT Breakfast, Ali asks Alan something that maybe shouldn't be asked at breakfast.
March, I think, should fit in perfectly. What do you think?
Wow.
Would you fancy number 2?
Oh, come on now.
Come on, we're better than that. Do you know, I think it's worse. I think the next clip is the same. Still on bowels. Here's more Ali McCoist.
Thank you very much. We have seen how important it is to have a number 2.
Oh, who's put these together? I mean,
this is an outrage.
Throw them under the bus.
Say we are.
Not like this with Paul and Andy. That wouldn't have Paul would go no at that. If you're in the meeting with Paul on that one, no, same joke twice, and not a very good joke in the first place.
It's our fault for not having that meeting, isn't it, Charlie?
Exactly.
They're professionals. We empower the teenagers.
We have let the holiday production staff put this together.
And now we're throwing
not even the main ones.
No, I know. It's amazing we're on air, isn't it? Is it me? I know it's you.
It's me. Ali showed off that he's not just a footballer, but could have another career in the pipeline.
Sergio Leone. That's him. Sergio Leone, who passed away recently.
The
good, the bad, the ugly.
Alan, I will say Alan got it. Alan did name that tune in one.
Here's Ali giving us... It is, yeah. I thought it was. I thought he got it, but he actually wasn't right. So how did he get it? How did Alan get it? That's Alan Brazil's greatest skill. If you whistle the wrong tune to him, he will tell you the tune.
Exactly what you mean.
It's like a weird Shazam. It's really funny.
He's like that. You go, Alan. Listen. I'm just going to do Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, Alan.
Yeah.
Sitting on the dock of the bay. Do you have bays?
Got it.
Do you have bays in France, David?
Here's Ali telling us the delicacies of being Scottish.
Then it becomes Burns afternoon. And then, Burns evenings and Burns suppers where traditionally we eat haggis titties.
Oh, God. Who is this? Are they 13, the people who are doing this?
I didn't mind that.
And bums.
I didn't mind that one. I didn't mind that one.
There isn't. When you hear Ali's voice, you do just smile. And he is like, there's no facade with Ali. He is like the nicest guy.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely the nicest guy. Not telling you that, Max. I'm telling the listener, just in case they ever meet him, you know.
Yeah,
Ali recalls the time.
I think what you're doing is telling Ali McCoist just in case he's listening to this bit. That's what you're doing there.
If he is, we're in trouble. Ali recalls the time he told us how he's in bed with who?
But what a band. One of my wife's favourite bands as well. And great band. She's just out of bed, so she's probably listening.
Well, I'm with her.
Oh, in bed with Jeff's wife.
I see. Here is a routine chat on talkSPORT's Early Breakfast with Nick Ellaby, taking an unexpected turn when Ali decided to channel the balloon.
The big question this morning, though, is can Hearts break a 40-year Old Firm stranglehold and win the Scottish Premiership? Here's Rangers legend Ali McCoist.
Yes. That was a good one.
Yeah, okay.
Did you not like that one?
Yeah, no, I did. Yeah.
Oh, right.
I'm just, you put me on edge now.
Why have I put you on edge with
what, on each clip?
On each clip?
Listen to each clip. Yeah. This is where Paul and Andy, you see, because they listen to it first.
Oh, no, they listen to it first. We don't know what's going to happen. Here we go. When speaking about the Ashes, Ali had some great points. However, his mind was clearly on lunch when speaking about Stuart Broad.
The other way to look at it is leave Jimmy out, knowing that Jimmy will come back in and take about 10 wickets in the next case, because that's what happened with Stuart Bread.
Stuart Bread. I mean, I'm here for lunch cricketers. What is it?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Wheat-based cricketers.
You want wheat-based cricketers? Oh, God. I mean, I've got Cider Wheater and David Wheater, but neither of them work.
Already incredible.
Yeah, okay. Wheat-based cricketers. Ali McCoist, interesting what he recommends you take if you have, a bit of a reaction to a mosquito bite.
The course coming alive now. The flowers down there just stunning. Absolutely, it's not doing Ali's. It's not doing your hay fever any good, is it?
I need to get some of them. What do you call them? Amphetamines? Is that what you call them?
No,
you can't take any more.
Ali McCoy. Dean lays down the law. Dean lays down the law and says, that is enough amphetamines for you, Ali. That's it. You can't have any more. You've had
more
enough.
for you. Ali McCoy's joined breakfast and casually rebranded himself.
9:45, very good morning. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. Myself, ArnoldClark.com.
Yes. Classic of the genre.
He bought the .com. He bought
Exactly,
the .com.
You pay him enough, he will change his name. There you are. Just call me Tool Station. While recalling Stuart Dallas's time at Leeds, Ali reached for a metaphor. Let's just say he's the first to use this one.
A couple of Stuart Dallas goals got Leeds United a terrific win. Leeds United haven't set the fire, the heather on fire this season.
Leeds United haven't set their hair on fire this season.
No, they haven't.
I like that.
Probably good.
That's good if the team's doing well. They've really set their hair on fire. I like it. Breda Hangeland has come in. Tim Flower, very nice. David Flower. Who's that? David Flower.
I don't know. David
Flower. David Flower. Don't know who that is. Text again.
Do the last clip.
Tell us who you meant.
Do the last clip.
When describing Wonder Kid Harvey Elliott, can you guess which animal his surname somehow turned into?
But Liverpool just find a way because they've got great players. And I'm looking at the squad. I'm looking at their bench at the weekend there now. Darwin Núñez, Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott.
Harvey Elephant.
It's almost Harvey Elephant.
Oh,
I mean, that's a shoe-in, isn't it?
Just
You've
for
got
the
bread,
hell of it.
you've got wheat footballers, but I mean, let's build the zoo. Come on, that's better, isn't it? That is an open goal.
What,
it's an open goal. Let's build the
footballers?
zoo. Harvey Elephant. Here we go. I mean, that should honestly the text.
That'll get us through till 4.
That's the rest of the show, isn't it? Yes, you can build the talkSPORT zoo, or you can stick with wheat footballers. It depends. It depends on your choice.
Kevin
the
Wheaterson.
pros will be back on.
That's cricketers.
The pros will be back for Clips of the Week next Friday, and it'll be a bumper. It'll be a bumper issue, won't it?
Bumper crop.
3:30 next Friday afternoon with Paul and Andy. This is Max Rushden Charlie Baker on talkSPORT in partnership with Tool Station. Gear up for those darker nights with electrical and lighting overs. Next stop, Tool Station.
Clips of the Week on talkSPORT with Tool Station. Next stop, Tool Station.
It's not often you associate fan power with Chelsea Football Club, but one of the shining examples of it lies with a group called the Chelsea Pitch Owners. And they've proved to be the thorn in the side of owners past and present who've been dead set on moving stadiums to a larger, more lucrative piece of land. Essentially, the supporters group holds the freehold to the land on which Stamford Bridge sits. Former owner Ken Bates set it up at a time where some unruly property developers tried to evict the club from their ground. In order to prevent this, he established the CPO as a company that owned the pitch and offered the fans the chance to buy a share for £100. As well as that, they also own the rights to the name Chelsea Football Club, so if any owner wants to take them elsewhere, they can't be called Chelsea without the approval from the CPO. Now, in 2011, Roman Abramovich tried and failed to move them away from Stamford Bridge, and this has set a precedent for Todd Bowley and the current power brokers at Chelsea. They know any plan which involves moving from Stamford Bridge will require CPO approval from the now 13,000 fans who own it. There are fans who are concerned that if they stay at the bridge, they'll be left behind their domestic and European rivals who are moving to more commercially successful stadiums. But for the heritage and history lovers, Stamford Bridge is one of the iconic English stadiums, and to move away would be a grave mistake. It might not be as flashy as others, but stadiums like it have something about them that cannot be replaced. One thing's for sure, if Bowley wants to take Chelsea away from their home, he'll have to go through the CPO first.
Good afternoon. You are listening to Rushden and Baker here on talkSPORT. You got any New Year's resolutions?
Just to go get it at all times,
Yeah.
which has been my resolution for the last sort of 4 or 5 years since I started doing the game day warm-up. Back tomorrow, Max.
Yeah, of course.
With 2 hot young new presenters, Max Rushden
who are they?
and Charlie Baker.
Pamela Anderson and Samantha Fox.
A real fresh attitude to how radio should be.
Okay.
Go get it at all times.
We're looking forward to that.
And
show.
whatever that means to you, Max. Whatever that means to you.
Lima Yamal says,
very nice.
that's David O'Doherty says that one.
Oh, very good.
Michael says, Crocodile Quinn. Keep those coming.
Monty
please.
Panna Chocolat. That's very nice. That's very good. Joe in Edinburgh. Well done, Joe.
Oh, Joe, that's
I think
really,
you've won
really
there.
lovely.
Wheat-based footballers. Very nice.
That is really delightful, isn't it? I mean,
sorry, wheat-based. It's wheat-based cricketers. Just so
is it? Which
so
pastry cricketers? Is that what we're on?
Page
It's really
3
hard, isn't it?
cricketers.
Do you know what's really hard? Do you know what's not fair? And it's not fair. It's fine for the listeners, but not fair on the hosts, which is someone says pastry cricketers.
Yeah.
Right? So then if you're a listener, you have time
You've got
to
as much
think.
time as you want.
Whereas we have to carry
You
on.
have to host the show.
But the trouble is, I'm not thinking about anything apart from trying to get Pano Raisin into a cricketer.
I'm
right?
trying to think,
And that
who
is-
could Cream Horn be? Cream Horn. There must be someone.
It is one of the, people say it's people think it's a first world problem, but it isn't. One of the biggest problems in your life is when you come up with an idea for a pun and you're not allowed to have the quiet time to think about it because you have to do the show while you're doing it. And even while I'm doing this bit, all I'm trying to think is who's Pano Raisin, Hansi Cronje doesn't quite fit, does it?
No.
Oh, it's really, really desperately upsetting.
Fancy Cronut.
Yeah, we've done it together.
But you were talking, and I was thinking.
Hansi Cronut.
Hansi Cronut. There we are.
So there we go.
Came up
New
with that.
year, new you, says the Daily Star.
Oh, yeah.
Bizarre ways to try and keep yourself alive forever. You know that man who's trying to live forever? I know. You don't want to live forever?
Oh, no way. No way. I think I'd take 25 more years.
Okay.
Beyond that, it looks
that really is quite finite, isn't it?
Yeah, but it looks a bit miserable beyond that.
No, I'd take 30, maybe 40.
I'll take 30 more. 30 more years. Take 30 more.
Oh, right. Okay, good. Okay. I think as you get closer, you want a few more. That's my hunch.
Yeah, that's the trouble. Isn't it?
A new year, new you. 2026 has arrived, and most of us will have made half-hearted promises to lead cleaner, healthier lives. But some folk go to the extreme in an effort to beat the ever-ticking clock in an attempt to achieve immortality.
Yeah, you can't.
Peter Pan man Tom Stitchbury, whose useful appearance is the result of salmon sperm facials.
Oh, yeah.
There we are. There he is with a T-shirt that says "Don't die." Someone needs to let him know.
Yeah.
Someone needs to let him know.
Stop hanging around by that waterfall, will you? You look dodgy.
Upstream, don't you know? That's what he says. Yes, Charlie.
Why do you want to look young your whole life? That's the thing. Just age. That's the beauty of it, isn't it? You have your life just. I do have a strict moisturising routine, so I'm being a hypocrite there.
Yeah, and also you are
I'm interested,
you don't have grey
in the
hair.
end of this.
You're an absolute weapon. Also, you're just a complete.
Yeah.
You're a total idiot.
Yeah, that's
Anyway, let's do a bit of AFCON.
Oh, good.
We were going to talk. This is the second time in a row I've said, look, Gary Al-Smith, he's a great guest. You'll love him. He came on Sunday with me and Barry. We loved him. But he hates you, Charlie.
You've really
So
sold him
two
to
times in
me.
a row.
Every time I think this guy's going to be amazing. I can't wait to talk to him. I can't wait to meet him. The guy bails.
He was on Instagram eating about 30 hard-boiled eggs yesterday, so maybe that's why
That's what it
he's
was,
not
yeah,
here.
yeah,
But a very nice man called Alistair Howarth is here now, and he joins the show to talk about it. Hey, Alistair, how are you?
Hello, Alistair.
Hey there, doing all right, guys. How are you doing?
Yeah, very good. Very good.
Now, listen, this is incredibly unprofessional, but we've literally just phoned you up. So no one has told me where
Anything
you
about
are,
you?
what you're doing, who you're
Do you
working
know
for.
anything about AFCON at all?
I presume you're covering AFCON. Otherwise, it's
superb. Yes,
What's your life
I
history,
am.
Alistair?
So I'm currently in Tangier ahead of Senegal and Sudan tomorrow at the Africa Cup of Nations,
Right.
and I have been here in Morocco covering the whole tournament.
Fantastic.
Great stuff. Well, you're the perfect guest. Thank you so much for doing this. And sorry for just randomly phoning you up. The Gabon story is fascinating, isn't it? Where, Gabon have not done well. And so the government have basically just said, we're dissolving this team and we're chucking, they no longer exist. It's an extraordinary story.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. And it's also extraordinary given that, yes, this Africa Cup of Nations performance was, obviously very bad given they lost all 3 games. But actually, in World Cup qualifying, they were one of the best teams in qualifiers to actually miss out on qualifying for the tournament itself. So it's not like this team has been in massive decline. So it is clearly just a huge overreaction from the government. And look, there's been issues before. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang previously retired after having issues with the federation. The president then stepped in to called Aubameyang to kind of ask him to come out of retirement. So, this isn't a federation and country that hasn't had its issues in the past, but it is, I mean, I'm gobsmacked here, to be honest, having watched them here.
How do you disband a national team? Hang on. Because there's nowhere else you can suddenly pick, or is it just gone? They're just not having a national team anymore. Is that what's happening?
So they will be continuing with the national team. They haven't kind of completely entirely disbanded the concept of it.
Yeah.
I think what they have done is they'll be sacking the current technical team, as well as then banning some of the older players, particularly Aubameyang and Akil Manga are the headline acts. So they.
Sure.
He's gone too.
He is in Morocco, so.
No, but it's very kind of.
Maybe that was his taxi turning up that beeped his horn.
Just said, Gary said, no, Gary, who didn't come on, just said, whatever you do, don't talk to them. He said, I've done a deal.
It's Gary.
No one's allowed to talk.
We don't want anyone who knows anything about it to talk to
But
them.
it is like England stinking the place out at the World Cup, and Keir Starmer basically saying England no longer has a team.
No longer has a
isn't
team.
it? It's sort of like that.
Yeah,
Just
I've often thought
mad.
shut the place down, disband the club.
Yeah.
I've often thought that. I think we've got Alistair back. How good?
Oh, we've got Alistair back. That's good. Oh, well, look, we can move on from that, the Gabon story to the quarterfinal, to the last 16 rather. How do you feel it's set up?
I think it's set up brilliantly, to be honest. I mean, the last couple of African Cup of Nations have been defined by upsets in the group stages. Algeria and Ghana being knocked out by the Comores, Gambia. These real minnows. This time we've had the exact opposite. All the heavy hitters have done well. All the big teams have gone through. And while that meant the group stages were maybe a bit uninspiring, it means we've got some genuine heavyweight clashes already in the round of 16. So it's set up really, really well to be exciting for the next couple of days.
Yeah, so like Morocco, the massive favourites. They've got an amazing squad. Like the fans not totally enamoured with the manager at the moment. They've got Tanzania, which looks pretty straightforward. And then who do you think they will face out of South Africa and Cameroon?
That is the tough one. There's a lot of these games that are kind of, like Morocco, like Senegal. It would be incredible if they didn't qualify. There's a couple others like South Africa and Cameroon that are on a knife edge. I mean, coming into this tournament, South Africa were one of the outsiders. Coming into this tournament, they were in the best form outside of, I would say, Morocco and Senegal, but they have disappointed. They haven't kind of lived up. Whereas Cameroon have been the opposite. They came into this tournament full of chaos. 2 squads were selected. We didn't know who their coach was. But actually, David Pago, who's taken over as the role just before the tournament, has done exceptionally well. They're a well-drilled side, not the kind of best football, but very attacking, playing on break. Brian Mbeumo looking very, very good. So it's finely poised. Honestly, if I had to put my money on it, I think I would maybe just edge in favour of Cameroon.
I've heard no one talking about Mo Salah at all. Maybe I'm listening to the wrong things, but he scored a couple of goals. They went through without him having to play the last game. They seem to be playing well. Why have I not heard a lot about them?
I think you haven't heard a lot about them because they've quietly gone about their business. I think in the first game, Salah was actually excellent. He was superb, particularly in the first half, created lots of chances, looked back to his best, didn't score, but then right in the last minute finally gets the goal. And I think that's kind of taken a lot of the pressure off of him, because there is a lot of pressure on him on this Egypt side to perform. They then get past South Africa, and it's allowed them to rest their players. So, yeah, they really are kind of going under the radar, and they're in this quite kinder side of the draw. There's very much a heavyweight side of the draw and an easier side. So they look very well set up to go deep in this tournament.
Yeah, it's hard to see them. You imagine that they'll beat Benin. Ivory Coast should beat Burkina Faso, unless you tell me otherwise. And then you still think Egypt will win that. And then you've got this other side. You've got DR Congo. I scored one of the goals of the tournament, I think. That sort of back heel was a wonderful move, wasn't it? Gael Kuta, who Chelsea fans might remember from about 1,000 years ago. They play Algeria. So you tell me who's likely to get through that one.
That is another one of the very close ones. For me, Algeria have been the best team at this tournament. They have been incredible to watch. If you're looking for one team to watch, it is them. Ibrahim Maza, who's kind of signed by Bayer Leverkusen to replace Florian Wirtz, is incredible to watch. And a few other really exciting players, Faris Chaibi and Ishaq Musa. They, for me, have been the best team at this tournament. But as you say, DR Congo, they have those creative players like Kakuta, like Theo Bangonda, nicknamed the Congolese Messi. And they're also a very good defensive side. So for me, I would have Algeria as favourites, but that is for me, if you're going to watch any game, watch that one.
Great stuff. Nigeria, Mozambique, the other one in that side. Look, Alistair, thank you so much for
Brilliant,
coming on.
Alistair.
We really appreciate your time, especially because we just rang you when you're just trying to cross the road. It's greatly appreciated.
It's like we just rung someone on the street. So has anyone got a number of anyone who's in Africa?
He happens to be an absolute expert on the whole
Brilliant
thing.
expert, really good encyclopedic knowledge. We got so lucky.
I know. Cheers, Alistair. Good stuff. Alistair Howard there, AFCON expert. If you are crossing the road and you know anything about football, then just expect our call. You know, I'm not reading out the number, Charlie, because we're calling you. I'll read your number. 07443 112 846. We'll do. Ben Jacobs will join us. talkSPORT's transfer reporter. We'll do some transfer window stuff in a sec.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We've been taking you through what should be another busy day of football. Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Just a world when the text board says Barry Creamhorn from Dom, Shane Creamhorn from Kerry. Next test match, says Rick. Australia 551 eclaired.
Oh, very nice
stuff.
Very good
still
indeed.
Still no one's got, what was I stuck on? Pano Raisin. Anyway, transfer window's open, isn't it? Ben Jacobs has to get back to work. I'm not suggesting, Ben, you do nothing.
Ben's in the studio as well, which is very nice. He's normally sort of down the line. It's very nice to have him here.
Yeah, so I can't be accused of laziness for only working for half of the year when the window is open. I thought I'd come in.
Yeah, we have said that.
Yeah, just to prove it. Yeah,
two months' work a year if you're Ben Jacobs. It's lovely.
For anyone of our ilk, I know you're a bit younger than us, I know, but like the idea that somebody who doesn't perform for West Ham can go to AC Milan, it still doesn't fit in my brain for how football should work.
Yeah, I think the reality is certain players are more geared towards certain leagues. We've seen that with Rasmus Højlund as well, going back to Serie A and scoring goals for fun. The same could be said for Scott McTominay as well. The problem with Nicholas Füllkrug was not necessarily the profile, it was the injury record and the fit now with a new manager in Nuno that wants somebody younger, more powerful. And ultimately, the big issue with West Ham is they're mopping up in the market from previous inconsistencies where David Sullivan has wanted one player, manager at the time, another, and then Tim Sterden made a bunch of signings, particularly from South America, like Luis Guilherme, who's now off to Sporting, and none of them have worked because individually each profile is promising, but not a fit for the manager or no collective chemistry. So Nicholas Füllkrug leaving allows West Ham to now go in the market and find a series of attackers and definitely a target man. And from West Ham's perspective, that's what they need. Somebody younger, energy, pace, goals. They're probably going to scour the market for another central midfielder as well, all of which now is not to move them on to where other clubs like Crystal Palace are, challenging on the cusp of Europe. It's basically just to keep them up.
Yeah.
And that's a damning indictment on
I've
their
seen them linked to
recruitment.
Adama Traore and to Raheem Sterling. Now, the Raheem Sterling one, I'd completely forgotten about him as a footballer, completely forgot that he was still playing. I had to remember that he was at Chelsea, all those things. But I'm assuming he's on very, very good money at Chelsea, so doesn't want to leave if he doesn't have to. So
yeah, it's going to be difficult, I think. Raheem Sterling, I'm told, and our understanding on talkSPORT has been quite consistent here, only wants permanent move. And naturally, if you get the final days of the window and you're still at Chelsea in the cold, maybe he changes his mind. But at the moment, Sterling's really clear. He only wants permanent move. West Ham will not be able to do that. One, because of wage. Two, because Sterling won't join a club that's fighting relegation permanently. And he's also not prepared to do a conditional obligation where if they stay up, he ends up joining. So it's going to be really difficult for West Ham. I think they've got other priorities. Fulham could come back in for Raheem Sterling. Sterling seems to want to stay in London in a perfect world. He's definitely not going to go to Saudi Arabia or MLS. And then from West Ham's point of view on Adama Traore, let's not forget here, Nuno wanted Traore at Nottingham Forest. He had him as manager at Wolves. And there was a massive conflict between Edu, new sporting director at Nottingham Forest, and Nuno. And Nuno went straight to Traore and said, do you want to join? And then Edu, to my understanding, told Nuno he doesn't want to join, and yet Nuno had it in his head the player already was willing to go to Nottingham Forest. They fell out. It was the beginning of the end. So Nuno's come back in and said to the West Ham hierarchy, I want Adama Traore, and if all goes according to plan, this one will be finalised on a 6-month contract.
Okay.
How funny that two people could fall out over, and why did this marriage break apart? It was Adama Traore. Now, will Tottenham buy any midfielder who can pass the ball forwards?
Yeah, I have a lot of people wondering that.
Yeah, I think Tottenham want a progressive passer in the number 6 position. And João Paulinho, by the way, would like to stay. So that deal could get done in the summer. And there is the option to make that one permanent. But they're still looking for somebody in the centre of the park. More important to Spurs, by the way, is a wide attacker or maybe even someone that can double up as a number 9.
Let me say, it's not. I mean, that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. But yes, they do need someone off the left. That is true.
I mean, I think when I say more important, probably less important in 2026. But because Paulinho joined over the summer, more important for Spurs mid-season to find some goals, especially if you look at the drab draw against Brentford less than 24 hours ago. Centre of the park, Keish Smith, who has also been linked with Newcastle, and they're very serious, but it's going to take astronomical money mid-season. And then if we look at the wide area, Yan Diomande for Tottenham or Manchester United, and maybe Savinho. My understanding is if, as we expect, Antoine Semenyo joins Manchester City permanently, and that deal is agreed in principle, even though he's going to play for Bournemouth against Arsenal on Saturday. But should that progress and become official, first out the door, Oscar Bob, Borussia Dortmund, one of the clubs to watch. But then second, maybe, perhaps summer over January, but you never know for the right money, Savinho. So don't be surprised if Tottenham don't go for Yan Diomande if they come back in for Savinho, who they tried to sign over the summer, but Ferran Soriano, not Pep Guardiola, but actually at board level at Manchester City, that was the person who blocked that deal.
Brennan Johnson should be in the squad, I think, for the weekend. I think they play Newcastle, don't they, for Palace. Are there any Palace players who are slightly concerned about Glasner, and I'm thinking about, I'm trying to get Adam Morton to Tottenham, but like Wharton, I mean, Gay, we think will leave anyway, but Adam Morton's a fascinating one because he's so talented. Clearly his ceiling is beyond Palace. I'm not trying to sell all your players, Palace fans, but I'd be fascinated to see where he goes.
Yeah, Adam Morton is probably a summer saga as far as I'm aware. I don't think we're going to get any movement. Same can be said, by the way, for Elliot Anderson. Wharton is quite a fluid situation because as of now, it's not Glasner related. Yes, some of the players, like we as journalists, are aware that Glasner could leave at the end of the season, but Palace have got European football and they're on track to get it again. Yeah. And I think Wharton's number one priority imminently in his career is to go and play, ideally, Champions League football. If Palace somehow qualify for the Champions League and then Glasner leaves, Wharton might be a bit more patient. So the Palace perspective here on Wharton is they want to get him to sign a new deal and keep him a bit like Semenya through the summer and then make it a saga for 2027. But if that doesn't happen, there's a gentleman's agreement, to my understanding, for about 60 to 65 million that Wharton could go if a Champions League club comes calling, but I'm not expecting any movement in January.
And Gay to Liverpool, is that still on?
Again, Mark Gahey is actually the roadblock here. A lot of people think that Crystal Palace are backing Glasner, but if he is to leave, there's no reason why Palace wouldn't at least consider a more nominal fee in January to sell their captain. But Mark Gay's looking at the injury to Levi Colwill and the fact that Harry Maguire isn't playing week in, week out for Manchester United. And he's under the impression, not just a hunch, but from speaking to Thomas Tuchel and the England setup, that if he just stays where he is, like Elliot Anderson at Nottingham Forest, he could be a starter for England at the World Cup. So Gay's prepared to just stay and leave on a free transfer. Liverpool could be there, but no movement yet to suggest they're going to bid in January.
About Jared Bowen. I mean, we talked about Fulkrug, but, you know, he is carrying West Ham, and he must at some point think, I could go and be really good somewhere good.
Yeah, but imagine at Christmas his father-in-law going, no.
Well, I know that, but eventually, you know,
absolutely not.
Eventually,
no way.
Danny Dyer will be okay with it. You know, there's a sweetheart within Danny Dyer. I know that.
Yeah, Jared Bowen has been linked in the past with clubs that now have gone and got a right-sided attacker. So Manchester United were one of them that held talks 2 windows ago, but nothing progressed. Newcastle, the other one, but they've now both got a lot of versatile players that can play in that wide area and are goal scorers. And yet you can never say never to one of the big clubs, particularly from the Premier League, although I was actually told 6 months ago Bayern Munich also made a call as well. At the moment, Bowen is happy. West Ham are not in the same boat as Wolves. And by that, I mean, because Wolves are so far gone, there's now an acceptance within the hierarchy that they might have to entertain offers now to get a higher number for either Jorgen Strand-Larsen, 40-odd million, or João Gomez between 40 and 45 million. West Ham are not looking at offloading. They're backing what they've got and who they signed to stay up. And then they think with Bowen, they'll actually be in a stronger position in the summer than now. So it'd be a big surprise if somebody came in the middle of the season. Tottenham have taken a look at Bowen in the past, and even Napoli made a call again 2 windows ago. So there's plenty of interest there. But West Ham's position in January is that Jared Bowen is not for sale.
All right. Anything else before we let you go, Ben? Any other
really obvious Omar
thing
Mamouche,
that we haven't asked?
Yeah, Omar Mamouche to Spurs. I'm told that he's going to stay. Savino more likely to leave in 2026. The other story probably worth touching on is Harvey Elliott, who's in limbo at Aston Villa. If he plays 5 more games, the obligation to buy gets triggered. He's out of favour with Unai Emery. Some of the reason for that is because Monchi signed him and Emery was not necessarily fully on board. But Elliott's been a model professional, so we're not talking about a personal fallout here. It's very unfortunate for him because after the England Under-21 Euros, where he was outstanding, he was a hot property. And now he finds himself waiting to see whether he can get any game time. And for most leagues, remember, he cannot play because he's turned out for both Liverpool and Aston Villa. And the loophole to that is MLS, because under FIFA rules, their season begins in January, so it's next season in inverted commas, so he could go to MLS. And Charlotte FC, who are managed by Dean Smith, have made an inquiry for a loan only, like they did with Wilfried Zaha, who's on loan at Charlotte from Galatasaray. My understanding is that Elliott is not that interested in moving to MLS, but it could be one of his only options if he wants to get minutes. And then the last point on this is we've heard reports that Liverpool will just bring him back and use him as a squad depth player. There's no recall clause. And I'm told Liverpool are not the ones initiating here. They'll do nothing if Aston Villa don't approach them. If Villa want to end the loan and just send him back to Liverpool, even if he just stays at Anfield, Villa will have to pay Liverpool and not the other way around. And if Villa don't make that call to Liverpool, Liverpool will do nothing, and Elliott will have to stay at Aston Villa, not playing likely until the end of the season.
Well, you do only work 2 months a year, but you do work hard.
You really know what you're on about.
I will give
all
you
that was
you
with
know
no notes. No notes at all. Just out of his head. Amazing.
Great stuff. Cheers, Ben.
Thank you, Ben.
Cheers, guys.
Ben Jacobs there, one of our transfer experts. It's Max and Charlie with you on talkSPORT. We'll look ahead to the weekend's Premier League action with John Bruin in just a second.
As Lewis Hamilton, now at Ferrari, dares to dream of a record 8th F1 world title, the Tifosi will be hoping the Brits can bring glory back to Italy. To many, Ferrari and Formula One are inseparable. They're the only team in the sport today to have competed in the first World Championship in 1950, are the most successful team in history, and have built some absolutely gorgeous cars. Their first driver's title was won in 1952 by Alberto Ascari. Considered one of F1's most dominant and best-loved champions, he drove the iconic Ferrari 500 and defended his title the year after. It was Juan Manuel Fangio in his Ferrari 250 who secured the team's next driver's title in 1956. Remember, he was world champion 5 times with 4 different teams. Mike Hawthorne, Phil Hill and John Surtees also won titles for Ferrari in the 50s and 60s, and the cars back then were beautiful, and they even sounded great, didn't they? Anyway, Ferrari went 11 years without winning a title until Niki Lauda won in 1975 in the iconic 312T. Throughout much of the 80s and 90s, though, Ferrari looked like they'd never go all the way again. Le Professeur Alain Prost came pretty close in 1990, but lost out to his bitter rival and former teammate at McLaren, Ayrton Senna. It was only when John Todt recruited a swathe of staff from outside of Italy, including Michael Schumacher, that the glory days returned 21 years after their last driver's title. The turn of the century saw the prancing horse sprint to an unprecedented 5 consecutive championship doubles. And after Schumacher left, Kimi Raikkonen reclaimed the driver's title immediately. But despite employing 1,500 people, the Iceman remains the last Ferrari world champion. So, 16 constructors' titles, 7 more than McLaren, and 15 drivers' titles, 4 more than, again, McLaren. Ferrari are truly Formula One's top team. Forza Ferrari.
Now, just the talkSPORT is just people trying to crowbar Pano Raisin into a cricketer, of which Ben is the best. Pano Raisin Illingworth. Ben in the pub, thank you.
Very nice.
Apple Cumble, says Matt. And of course, the pub Paris. Crumble, just David Crumble Lloyd, of course.
This is nice from Anonymous, unfortunately, but send us your name because it's very good. Watching the Liverpool game, my wife said, why does he keep saying, you go have a tea cake? Which is very good. Very, very, very good.
What a lovely insult.
Please
as well.
Give us your name. Please give us your name.
You go have a tea cake. Anyway, now let's look ahead to the weekend's Premier League action with broadcaster writer John Broom. Welcome, John.
Hello, John.
Hello. Happy New Year, fellas.
Happy New Year, John.
Happy New Year.
If I'd had a tea cake every time the ball went out of play in that game, then the New Year's diet plans would be going right out the window, wouldn't they? Good Lord above.
Do you think they were all tired yesterday, John? I felt like they were all in every single game, all the players were tired.
Yeah, maybe not Sunderland, but the rest of them exhausted by the looks of things. Yeah. What an advert for the Premier League that was.
Do you know what? I mean, I don't mind dwelling on it. It was so... I mean, the Brentford Spurs game, we have talked about it, was so bad. I mean, the Liverpool game wasn't great, but like Brentford and Tottenham took it to another level. And actually, Brentford are getting away with it because of all the abuse, that Thomas Frank has got and the criticism of Tottenham. But both were bad in that game.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, though, Brentford, despite having that very good home record, they're entitled to do that, aren't they? The problem is that Tottenham are not allowed by law, almost, to play like that. And this is the issue with the ever-evolving cast of managers that we have at this club. But, I was just thinking...
Maybe that's chaps, it. Carry on, John. Carry on.
I was just thinking, actually, chaps, that you're getting old when you think how young Chelsea caretaker managers are looking these days. I mean...
He's the under-21s coach for Sunday, isn't he? That's who they've got in, isn't it?
Callum McFarlane, yes.
Callum McFarlane,
let's wish him all the best.
Feels like a big job for the lad.
It does. It does. It's fair to say that most in the game didn't know much about Callum McFarlane, but we're about to find out about him, aren't we? So, best of luck. I mean, your first game in charge, Pep Guardiola.
Yeah.
You know, that's
actually beats him 6-0.
It's a free hit and it's good though in a way. It's almost
as hard
perfect,
as possible.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
it would be amazing. I mean, there's always that thing, isn't there, about clubs over getting a caretaker in them, doing a good job, and then keeping them on permanently. Could Callum McFarlane be that guy?
I don't know.
Is it maybe he's too headstrong? Maybe he's just. It would be great if after the first press conference, the first game, he's in, Jeff Shreves or whoever it is now, just after the game, just says, "So how was that?" And he went, "This has been the worst 48 hours of my life." I know what Enzo was talking about. I hate this. I'm not telling you who, but I can't bear it.
He just does all the things, refuses to shake Pep's hand, get sent off, all the things. He could have a go at all of them. Come and get me, please, to other clubs.
Who's going to brief for him? That's the question, isn't it? Because that's been the story of 2026 already. Is the various briefings about Chelsea. We'd miss them if we weren't here. Thanks for opening 2026 in such style, Chelsea. It's been wonderful.
Yeah. It has. I mean, I must say, no one's briefing me from either side. I'm independent in this. Neither the Maresco team or the Chelsea team have been in touch with me. But look, they are capable, Chelsea. Like, they could go to City. It's unlikely because City are playing well. They could go there and do something.
Well, they have the players, and if you watch City at Sunderland, City are not infallible. That's been the story this season, hasn't it? And if any team has quite an Erling Haaland, then it was Sunderland, and they just totally closed them down. I mean, there was some heroic blocking there. Who is it? Was it one of them? Who was it that took the ball right in the face? Yeah, I mean that is beyond the call of duty, isn't it? I mean, can we rely on this Chelsea group to throw themselves at the ball like that Sunderland team? I think the big issue probably is that we cannot, and that is part of the problem. Maresca ball, which remember that's what it was called, didn't really. McFarlane ball, yes, that's what we're all staring down the face of right now, aren't we? What might that be?
Well, I mean, listen, as Roy McFarlane was an excellent manager for Cambridge back in the day, and Torquay, and we played some good stuff there with Alex Russell. We probably did the same for Torquay.
And for Torquay.
Yeah. Delivering some great free kicks. Tricky Trevor Benjamin, John Taylor scoring goals. Look, they could be in for a good thing if it passes through the name. Leeds Man United is also good. Sunday, 12:30. You are obviously Man United, John, so I don't know if and Leeds are playing quite well at the moment. You're probably not looking forward to this, as you probably haven't been looking forward to Manchester United game for about 12 years.
12 years, yeah. Well, I'll tell you a personal story is that I'm due to be in Morocco this weekend. I'm going to AFCON for a few days.
Oh, great.
And one of my friends was saying, well, let's make sure we get to such and such an Irish bar to watch this game. And I said, let's make sure we're not. I want to enjoy this holiday. Yes, well, I was a little concerned by Ruben Amorim's comments, as I often am, when he said, yeah, I've heard this is a big rivalry. And, I suppose that seems to what happened quite a lot when you're a manager of Manchester United. It's like, no, mate, you probably need to know that Leeds will give everything against your team and you need to be prepared. And maybe he's being nonchalant about it, but that is a game that, you talk to any ex-Manchester United player that's played at Leeds and the reception they receive from the very first minute the bus parks, that is, and you've got to ride it out. I mean, no matter the quality of the Leeds teams. I mean, you may remember that a third-tier Leeds team beat Manchester United in the FA Cup a few years back, and it's just that is a hell of an atmosphere to go into. So be ready, Ruben Amorim. Though
they give everything, John, don't they? And they seem hard. They seem like they're a hard team, tough players, And that's horrible. And they've got an informed striker who nearly scored again last night in Calvert-Lewin.
Do you know what? That was such a good finish, wasn't it?
It was. It's such a shame.
It was like, there is a guy whose instincts are absolutely razor sharp, give or take being offside, of course. But it was, that finish was so instinctive. And that was the Calvert-Lewin we probably expected, when he was a young teenager making his breakthrough. But Leeds have got the best of him. Credit to Daniel Farke. Leeds have really, really impressed. And, the Sunderland have been, I suppose, the good news story of the season for their fight against relegation becoming a fight for Europe. But Leeds deserve just as much credit, because I was a game at Brighton a couple of months ago, and it really seemed like Farke was at the end there, and there was all types of story that he would be gone after the run of fixtures that they had, which was against the top 3 clubs. And he rode those out. And Leeds are now a team for everybody to fear, especially this Manchester United team.
Is the game of the weekend Wolves West Ham? There is just absolutely enormous. Wolves looking going, if we can't win this, we might win no games all season. And West Ham in absolute dire straits, and they're really in danger of like falling adrift, aren't they?
Well, West Ham might be thinking, if we can't win this, then we will
Yes,
definitely not win any games this season. Because, I mean,
if we can't win this derby is a great game, isn't it? If we can't win this derby is a great name for it.
I mean, Wolves. I've been to Wolves a couple of times this season, and it is bleak. But just as bleak has been West Ham. I've been just as many times, and it's so. And the thing is,
I think it's bigger for West Ham than it is for Wolves, because Wolves are gone.
100%.
Wolves are done. So the pressure is sort of off for them, but it's very much that, one of us come and sit with us sort of thing for West Ham. It's like they don't want that. That isn't in their DNA, and yet pressure is on them.
100%, yeah. Nuno is I suppose the master of the pre-match. That word again, nonchalance, and it's there's a second half of the season to come, and we hope we can do better. I'm not really sure that's what West Ham fans want to hear. This is the club of the late Billy Bonds fighting for everything you've got, and it appears to me we are in a world where certain managers come out and certain managers and players, and particularly players, have to front up. I'm worried how often Jared Bowen is having to front up this season for the performances of West Ham, which he is very, very good at. Just as I've been impressed with Rob Edwards and his ability to take the positives when all is bad. I felt a bit sorry for him the other day when they drew with Manchester United, that he had to change his script. He almost, it was a bit, how do I deal with this situation that we've actually got a good result? It's very difficult.
It's a bit like if Burnley win. And Scott Parker couldn't just do his dour talk of defiance and hard work and how close they are. I really like a downbeat Scott Parker, and I just don't. They go to Brighton. What will he do? How will he be? He's got his. You pull the string out and it just goes like an action man. They've shown signs. Burnley, I guess they did against Newcastle, didn't they?
Oh yeah. I mean, this is the issue with Burnley is. There are signs, but they're probably not enough vital signs that they can stay up. Actually, I was listening to Scott Parker earlier, and downbeat, Max, is the correct description, which is that's just the way he hangs, isn't it? Scott Parker, and he talks about the injuries they've got, and how they're not taking the chances that they have and the opportunities, and he says it so well, doesn't he? He says it so well. Do you know what? I would not have expected Scott Parker to be such a credible manager, but he is a football man of par excellence, isn't he? The way he carries himself.
Why have West Ham never gone for him?
Well, he has a good promotion record, Charlie. So you may well be talking.
That's probably how it works. Someone's listening now, and he'll get a call in about 2 minutes. You're probably right. I just want to do one more game before we let you go, John. Which is, the only other side. It seems to me that it's only Forest who could get dragged into this, and despite how well they've done under Dyche, and they needed to, they are not that far away. And going to Villa, early game on Saturday live on talkSPORT, is a very difficult task for them.
Oh, definitely. We just have to see what the fallout is from Villa's defeat at Arsenal, which was very, very disappointing. And we have to guard against the fact that Villa are the streaky team, in the fact that their streaks can be long runs of defeat and then descending to, a run of poor results. But it is daunting. And we're just going to have to see how Villa respond to it. Dyche ball can be effective for a certain amount of time. I never think it's that long-term a strategy, though you have to say it is much more suited to Nottingham Forest than Ange ever was. Remember him? He was a manager. It wasn't that long ago,
He'll be back.
Still love him. Still love him. I
West
don't
Ham,
know.
maybe, yeah.
God, it is what it is, mate. I'd love that.
If he'd
I
not
would
taken
love
the Forest job, then maybe West Ham, yes. But I think because he's sort of
I think he did take
blotted his copy,
he
but
did.
took it too soon.
I think he
didn't
did take it. Yeah,
He would have got the West Ham job, wouldn't he? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, John. Well, thank you for doing this, and have a lovely day.
Thanks, John.
Have a lovely day,
Enjoy
chaps.
AFCON, John.
Thank you.
Stay out of those Irish pubs.
Oh yeah. Enjoy AFCON.
Well, you know what match I will be avoiding, so that's
of course.
All the best, chaps.
Thank you, John.
Cheers, John Brewin. I think commentary, by the way, of that Leeds Man United game, which means there's no me and Barry on talkSPORT. Can you believe it? What's bigger? 1889, me and Barry Glendenning, or Leeds versus... What has more football history? Leeds Man United or me and Barry Glendenning on the warm-up on talkSPORT? 8:10:89. Jeff Peters is going to join us. We're going to do some EFL. We're going to have a T20 birthday spread as well before Darren Bent and Andy Goldstein take over at 4 o'clock, live from Ali Pali ahead of the PDC Darts semi-final.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football. Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Still overjoyed by the greatest bit of this show, which was Greg and Jill from Southport.
Yes.
As you say, when Greg was watching the Liverpool game, my missus says, "Why does he keep saying you go have a tea cake?
You have a tea cake.
you go have a tea cake." But, I mean, that's one of my favourites.
Greg and Jill Mook from Southport. Have you been to Southport, Max? The Sandpipers play in Southport.
Right.
Southport
Do
FC,
they?
the Sandpipers.
Okay, I haven't. No.
Lovely little ground. It is. Smashing little ground.
Okay, thanks for
Just showing you my
informing me, but yes.
non-league knowledge there.
Well, no, I'm totally aware of it.
Down in the weeds.
No, I'm totally aware of it. You don't need to let me know again.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. I do like that stuff.
course,
but yes, I will try and bring it. When I'm next upset with someone, I'll just say, "You go have a tea cake."
You go have a tea cake. Yeah, it's nice.
You go have a tea cake.
It's a bit like shut the front door. Something nice. Something nice to say that sounds like you're swearing.
Hey, do you want some of my bits from
Always want your bits, Max. Never don't want your bits.
2021.
Oh, yes, please.
2019, 2021 that I took with me when I flew to Australia in a bag.
Yes.
Here we go. It's from the Daily Star.
Good luck.
Don't have the date, but it's, thanks so much. Mo Farah reckons he's addicted to coffee and drinks as many as how many cups of coffee a day, Charlie?
Well, he probably is addicted. 'Cause it isn't you can get addicted to caffeine, so it's not like a thing that Mo should take lightly. If
he cannot live without it, he says.
An addiction, 12 cups a day.
Lower.
Oh, sad. I've gone too high.
Yeah.
Imagine it's like
halve it.
Just two.
Halve it.
Just 2 cups. 2 cups a day. It's got really low, like
one and then a decaf on it.
Yeah, and then that's enough for me.
6 cups a day. Says downstairs, upstairs, in my man cave. I've got a coffee machine. I've got this espresso thing. You just put it down and off you go.
Yeah, I reckon he's been sent them. Do you reckon he's been sent them? Do you reckon he's downstairs? He's got 3. Do you reckon he's been sent them by
probably
one of the coffee people?
Do you reckon?
Yeah, Nespresso. Nespressos. Yeah, can't think of any others.
Yeah, I know. We all know what you mean.
You know what I'm talking about.
Buy your own coffee, Mo, is what you're saying.
Well,
Mo Farah.
Mo Farah, wasn't it?
I've no information. Have absolutely no information on Mo Salah's coffee intake. A diner used a tape measure to complain when his Nando's chicken was less than 10 centimetres. Irate Jason Koreskinensky uploaded a photo of his meal. He wrote, "Nando's UK, this is appalling. Not even a 10-centimetre piece of chicken for £6.75. I have been a customer for almost 20 years. The tomato slice is bigger. Happy Father's Day. Appalling."
Happy Father's Day. It's a great bit.
It is. Happy Father's Day. And no, it gets better. Appalling. Rip off Britain. It's rip off Britain, isn't it?
Yeah. And what I always like, I always do. I think a good meal is best if you measure it.
It's best measured, isn't it? Absolutely. That's all I like to do.
I only like long food. That's all I want.
What do you take a classic 30 centimetre?
That's all I take. A ruler, yeah, like a shatterproof helix. A shatterproof helix.
30 centimetre shatterproof helix, and there we go. I'll have the Chateaubriand, please, sir.
There we are.
I'd like, and if it's anything under 30 centimetres, I'll be sending it back.
Exactly.
It'd be great fun as the waiter,
and at the same time,
the food
Happy
down.
Father's Day.
Yeah, Happy Father's Day. Rip off Britain. It'd be great as the waiter puts the food down. You just go.
Oh my
you just
God!
take
It's
out-
sand
you go to-
grounders.
I mean,
It's sand grounders, not sandpipers. There's me trying to show off about my non-league knowledge, and I get their name wrong. Embarrassing.
Afternoon, gentlemen. Yes, you should be ashamed. I may have missed it. I don't think anyone's mentioned Tato Citroni Irani yet.
Oh, beautiful.
Very
nice.
Surprised to know that no one has mentioned that yet. Happy New Year from Brian, travelling home to Luton after a great 2 nights in Exeter, despite the results.
Oh God, 2 nights in Exeter. You could have 2 nights in Exeter. Exeter's a very nice place.
It is.
Just wonder, Timepiece, the nightclub.
Is that what it's called?
Boxes used to be there. I don't know if it's still there, but wonder where Brian went. Let us know where you went, Brian.
Timepiece is not a name for it.
Yeah, good.
That's not where young people are going to go clubbing, is it?
Good indie nights at Timepiece, yeah.
Let's think. Should we go to Grandfather Clock? What sort of nightclub is that? That's not going to get him in. It's got to call it Fez or Cindy's or
it's called Timepiece,
Revolutions.
Max, and it's still there even now.
There's always time for Timepiece.
There's always time for Timepiece. That's what they say. End of the night.
Anyway, I'm just chucking into
long food. What's the longest food you've ever eaten? 1089.
I'm just chucking into spaghetti and a yard of ale. Happy Father's
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, rip off Britain. It's Max and Charlie with you on talkSPORT in partnership with Toolstation. Stay one step ahead, whatever the job. Next stop, Toolstation. Jeff Peters joins us next. We'll do some EFL and then a T20 birthday spread.
For every good signing a club makes, there's bound to be a few that don't work out. Manchester United have certainly had their fair share of those, especially since the end of their golden age under Sir Alex Ferguson. Here are some of the Red Devils' worst signings since Fergie. First up, Alexis Sanchez. He'd averaged almost a goal every 2 games for Arsenal, but in his 45 matches for United, he only bagged 5. Next up, Radamel Falcao, dubbed El Tigre, or the Tiger. But at Old Trafford, he was a little more pussycat, to be honest. All the Colombian managed in 29 games was 4 goals. Moving on, things couldn't have gone worse for Jadon Sancho at United, with just 12 goals in 83 games. And it all ended after that very public spat with then-manager Erik ten Hag. Next, Ten Hag probably thought he was wise in sticking to what he knew when he brought in Antony from former club Ajax. But the £86 million Brazilian has really not been able to hack it in the Prem. The curse of the famous number 7 shirt has also had its share of victims. As well as the aforementioned Sanchez, Memphis Depay found he couldn't follow in the footsteps of Ronaldo, Cantona, Beckham and Best. He netted just 7 in 53 appearances. And those are just a few examples. To be honest, the list could go on and on. Unfortunately, that's probably why Man United haven't won the title for over a decade, and why it might take a few more years before they're in contention again.
26k for 2026 on talkSPORT.
Yes, I don't know why we haven't mentioned it yet, but talkSPORT is giving away £26,000. Your chance to kick off 2026 at 12 p.m. on the 9th of January. That's next Friday. We'll be calling one lucky winner with a guaranteed payment made that day. You could pocket £26,000, 26k for 2026. And if he's found the piece of paper,
I have
here's
it.
Charlie Baker.
I have here.
How to enter.
Here in my hand, how to enter. For your chance to win, text WIN to 83338. Text costs £2.50 plus your standard network rate, or call 0343 423 9761. Lines close 12 p.m. 9th of January 2026, and that's when you'll need to answer your phone if it rings. UK residents only, 18 plus. This is a network promotion. Full T's and C's at talksport.com/win. So for your chance to win, text WIN to 83338 now. Good luck.
Good luck. T20 birthday spread coming up shortly.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Jeff
great.
Peters is going to host that because, it's only a T20. Andy Jacobs is a test player.
He really is.
We know that. So we got Jeff to do some EFL as well. Hey,
good.
Jeff.
Hello, Jeff.
Good afternoon to you. Yes, you will realise even more just what an absolute genius Andy Jacobs is, coming up with so many birthdays every week when you hear the absolute terrible...
I don't think he comes up with the birthdays. I think he comes up with the jokes.
He does. He comes up with the birthdays.
Well, no, he chooses the birthdays, doesn't he, Charlie?
He doesn't come up with their birthdays. That is their mother and father.
And people don't know this about Andy Jacobs. He decides when people are born, and he has done. And it's it's an amazing skill that
it's going to be a nightmare because Max never listens to the jokes anyway, and Charlie just abuses everything I say. So it's going to be a waste of
Let's talk about the
my
EFL,
time.
guys.
Let's talk about Cambridge United, Max. 10 unbeaten.
10 unbeaten.
2-0 win against
in all
Walsall.
competitions.
Yeah.
2-0 win against Walsall, high-flying Walsall, Ben Knight. It's like obviously not everyone listening cares about Cambridge United, but there is a guy who scored 2, hit the bar with an overhead kick, hasn't played that much with this season, but he got his debut from Pep in a Community Shield, playing for Man City. As an England youth, he was like keeping Cole Palmer out of the side. He played, I think he played with so many of these guys at City, have gone on to be really good at lots of clubs in the Premier League now. And it must be really interesting, Jeff, if you're that player sitting in that dressing room, because for a lot of those players, this is the best they've ever played. And I actually think, even at my clogger level, right, I've never been good at football, but I have played with people who played England schoolboys and then stuck with me, or played professionally somewhere and that's stuck with me. Does he sit there and go, really? I mean, it looks like he's enjoying it, but it must be really interesting to change your mindset, to be like, this is the level I am now.
Well, why don't you ask him? Why are you asking me?
No.
I've got no idea what he's thinking in the dressing room.
That was a serious point, Jeff. You're right.
It absolutely was a serious point. Everybody develops football-wise at a different stage, and it's very easy to write off young players if it doesn't happen for them straight away, or maybe they go out on several loans and you think, well, it's never going to happen for them because they've been to this club and that club and the other club, and people develop at different times. So you have some players who are playing for at a high level when they're 16, 17, 18. Some don't get into the the Championship or the Premier League until they're in their well into their 20s or whatever. So for a player like him, yeah, he's had some great moments. He's now finding himself in the 4th tier playing football. I'm guessing he's loving it at the moment because he's playing in a team that is winning games, that is not losing games, that may well end up getting promotion. They may well end up even winning the League 2 title. Obviously, Bromley are on this incredible run. 6 successive wins at the top of the table. What Andy Woodman's done there is amazing. You've got Swindon just a couple of points behind them. Walsall were running away with it last year in League Two and then completely fell off a cliff second half of the season. They've just had back-to-back defeats, obviously one of those against Cambridge. You've got Salford up there, Cambridge in 5th. You'd think that MK Dons, Notts County, Chesterfield will be there or thereabouts come the end of the season, but it's incredibly competitive, as the EFL often is. You even look at the bottom of League Two. The bottom 4 teams are separated by just 2 points: Harrogate, Newport, Shrewsbury, and Crawley. And even if you start looking at League One, you look at a team. If you are 5 points above the relegation zone, you would be kind of going, that's not good, is it? We're 5 points above the relegation zone. Mansfield,
it's amazing,
are 5 points above the relegation zone. They are 9th.
Yeah,
they're 9th in the table. So there's just a lot of clubs. Obviously, you were talking about Plymouth a little bit earlier on. They're in the relegation zone on goal difference from Burton. Burton have lost back-to-back games that have seen them slip down the table. Orient have lost 3 in a row, seen them slip back down the table. And what a win for Port Vale on New Year's Day. I think they'd gone, 12 games without a win. They'd sacked the manager, Darren Moore. And then they beat an informed Blackpool side by 5 goals to 1. The madness of the EFL.
Yeah. I mean,
just before we do the championship, sorry, Charlie, just before they do the championship, Brennan Johnson's move to Crystal Palace has been completed. So he's done a 4.5-year deal. He'll be eligible to make his debut against Newcastle on Sunday afternoon. Charlie,
I think that is a great move for Brennan Johnson. Just go back to League Two. That is the first time Bromley have been top of League Two. They have stuck with it. Andy Woodman's done a brilliant job. They did a brilliant job in the National League. They were on a plastic pitch for most of the time in the National League. And often what happens is you get off the plastic pitch and you go into League Two and it all falls apart because you find out that's why you were winning most of your games. But they've always played this strong, direct football that really works in League Two. Andy Woodman's great manager, stuck with them. I'm assuming he'll stay there until he doesn't want to. And also, Ian Holloway went in at Swindon Town when they were bottom of the league.
Oh, they were in an absolute mess, weren't they?
They were out. They were gone. They were gone. He's gone in, done a fantastic job. Whenever you look in League Two, there are stories absolutely everywhere. Really, really good division at the moment. That's what I wanted to say on that. So talk about the championship.
Good point, well made. Yeah, let's talk about the championship. I mean, and Ian Holloway, you're right, because Swindon fans weren't that excited that he turned up.
No.
We obviously love Ollie because we've all worked with him. And he's a great bloke, so I'm so delighted he's doing well. Look, in the championship, Cov got a draw at Charlton. We're delighted that Charlton got something after that. We never lose at Fratton Park, which was the highlight of 2025. So they're having a little wobble. They're still, 9 points clear of third place, but just having a tiny bit of a wobble in the last few weeks.
Yeah, 2 wins in 7, 9 points from 21 available. And I think that throughout the season, you generally you go through periods where it doesn't quite happen for you in the way that it was earlier. And the thing is with Coventry is they got off to such an incredible start that they can afford to have periods of games where it doesn't quite happen for them, where maybe you've got players out injured, you've got illnesses, you've got suspensions, that if suddenly it feels like you're a little bit running in treacle. They've still got that cushion, so you go, well, they had a bit of a wobble. They've only won 2 in 7, yet they're still 8 points clear at the top. They're 9 points clear of Middlesbrough. They're 11 clear of Watford and Hull, who play each other this weekend. That's going to be one of the big games in this match round. Ipswich on an excellent run at the moment. 4th successive home win yesterday. They're away at Portsmouth on Sunday, so they will be looking at that, particularly the way that Pompey played on New Year's Day, and think that they'll have a chance there. Middlesbrough were going well. They won the first 4 games, or they won 4 games in a row. Kim Hellberg, spoke to him yesterday, really interesting guy. They've gone, 6.5, 7 hours without a goal, 4 games without a win. Maybe Callum Britton being out injured, that'll be a blow for them. But they're still right up there. So if this is Middlesbrough's wobble, they are still right in there. Coventry, if they are having a wobble, still 9 points clear of third. So I think you have to try and look at it, and I know football fans generally don't, but look at it from a sort of a wider perspective and go, yeah, it's not flowing as well as it was, but we've done a lot of hard work to get into this position, and things, of course, will turn again, and you'll get the bits of the rubber, the green again.
Question is, who will wobble in the T20 birthday spread? We'll find out in just a second.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football. Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
After us, live from Ali Pally, it is Drive with Annie Goldstein, Darren Bent there for the semi-final of the PDC World Darts Championship. Gentlemen, how are we?
Good afternoon, we're very well. Yes, you join us from a very cold Ali Pally. We're in where you get your food and where you have a bit of fun with some of the ex-pros and some dartballs in and around us. That's why if you're watching on YouTube, we've got our coats on. But it will warm up a bit later on. We're on, of course, from 4 o'clock. Bentley's alongside me, and we'll, fingers crossed, have all 4 semi-finalists will be joining us on today's show as well. I don't know if you watched the darts last night, but we saw former champion of the world, Bentley's favourite, Luke Humphries, get smashed to pieces, didn't we?
Yeah, weren't grabbing Van Veen, was absolutely incredible though, wasn't he? But it looked like Humphries had no answer to him. But listen, Littler, he's probably the one, isn't he? I mean, he 35 minutes. So we get
ridiculous.
Absolutely ridiculous. So I'm looking forward to the semi-finals tonight.
Yeah, we're very lucky, you guys, because the last 3 or 4 years we've actually done the show from Ali Pally. Usually it's finals day, but of course the final is now going to be on a weekend. Drives obviously not on the weekend, so we're here today for the last 4, but it promises to be, fingers crossed, another great night of arrows. I don't know if you watched it last night, but it seems to be getting better and better as we build up to the latter stages of the competition.
Absolutely brilliant. I thought Humphries threw it in a little bit. It looked like he got cross with himself and just couldn't be bothered and couldn't find anything to rally back.
Do you know what it was? I think when watching him last night, I think usually he's ice cold, he's quite cool and calm. But last night, as you said there, Charlie, I'm with you. I don't know if he chucked it. That's probably the wrong phrase
Couldn't
to
be
use.
bothered, he said, Charlie.
Yeah, I don't think he could be bothered. But I just think after a while, I think you just know that it's not your day, and you think whatever I try, you know what I mean? I can't live with this guy. And to be fair, Van Veen, he was absolutely superb.
Yeah, he was good.
Well, listen, enjoy the show, enjoy the darts, chaps. Thanks for coming on. We've got a birthday spread to do, which, you know, in many ways is the same level of elite sport. Andy Goldstein, Darren Bent with Drive in about 10 minutes' time. But Jeff Peters is here, Pele's here. Let's get on with it.
So we've got 5 birthdays, and it's about guessing the ages. Everybody knows the rules. You boys know the rules. So we're going to start. Who's going to go first?
This is just an exhibition, isn't it?
Exactly.
This is just
an exhibition.
Just
a bit of fun.
It is just a waste of 10 minutes. So we have to decide who goes first, and I think it should be Charlie to choose who goes first. Do you want to go first, Charlie?
I don't mind. I'll go first. Yeah, happy to go first.
Okay.
All right.
I think Max won last time. Which normally means he goes first, but you know.
So the first birthday. No, Charlie's going first. I've decided. So the first birthday is Annie Lennox, singer-songwriter from Eurythmics. Once we were walking through the park and we noticed a former Everton, Southend and Stockport striker taking shots at a former England and Man City goalkeeper. Said Annie, that must be Brett Angel playing with Joe Hart.
That's good.
Very
good. Good to get both in.
Walking on something glass. Something, anyway.
Broken glass.
Broken glass. Yeah. I'm going to say she is 70.
70 for Lennox. Okay, I'll go 68.
Here's how that goal went. Oh, no, that's the other quiz, isn't it?
Here's how Annie Lennox went in.
Annie Lennox is 71.
Ooh.
She was 71 on Christmas Day. So Max 3 out, Charlie 1 out. It's Max 3, Charlie 1. Lowest score wins. Charlie's in the lead. Birthday number 2, Max to go first. It's the English Rugby League player, Andy Ackers. Andy Ackers. Now, he used to tell the best cricket jokes and make me laugh so much I had to tell him, oh, do stop it, Ackers.
Andy Ackers.
Andy Ackers.
He retired a while back. He's 52.
I have no idea who Andy Ackers is, so I'm pleased Max had to go first. And I'm going to say 53.
Andy Ackers is still playing.
Oh, no.
I did say he was an English rugby league player.
Yeah, still playing.
Well, I know, but you know.
About 32, is he, Jeff?
He is 32, yes. So Max 20 out, Charlie 21 out, so it's Max 23, Charlie 22, Charlie
He's an old
still
soul.
in the lead.
He's an old soul.
Pulled into it. So what are the scores, Jeff? Sorry, say them again.
Max 23, Charlie 22, there's 1 in it with 3 to go.
Okay.
Birthday number to go, okay.
Birthday number 3. Andy Summers, the guitarist in The Police, not the plumber. So I saw him on the terraces at a football match, and he followed me around all game, kept invading my personal space. I said, look, Andy, don't stand so close to me.
I liked it.
Max is laughing.
Yeah,
He's actually listening.
good. It was very good. It's very good.
It's because the pressure's off. It's not,
Andy Summers.
How old's he?
I know his wife, Anne. She throws some interesting parties. 66.
Yeah. You know, he's in Lennox territory, isn't he? So I think you're right.
Lennox Town.
Do you think he's younger than Lennox? You think the police
Max,
are younger than Lennox?
This is the game. You just got to guess yourself. You can't rely on anyone else.
I think he's 1 year older than Lennox. 72.
Well, Andy Ackers is not going to like you, but Andy Summers is absolutely going to love you. He's 83.
No.
83?
Andy Summers is 83.
Yeah. He's 83.
I would have gone older, you know. I would have gone older.
Well, what they say, the police look younger these days. They really do.
Yeah.
So, Charlie, 17 out on that onto 39. Max, 11 out onto 34. So, Max leads by 5 with 2 to go. And it is Max to go first on birthday number 4.
Jeff, we have to get to, you know, Dame Vera Flingentot, the professor of chemistry,
Nobel Prize winner in 1942.
exactly.
Hold your horses. Okay, birthday number 4 is Lily Cole, the actress. Now, when I worked as a taxi driver, I got a booking from Lily and loads of her family. So many calls.
so many calls.
Well, they actually wanted to go to St James's Park, so of course I took Coles to Newcastle.
Jeff, these are great.
These are good,
These are great.
You okay, Charlie? Thank you.
My Mickey Quinn joke was, if he worked on a stud, you know, when he's at Newmarket, he's on the stud, and then like one of the horses gives birth. So there's just so, you know, so many fools.
So many fools,
Yeah, work on that. Max, so Lily Cole, the actress.
Come on, Jeff.
Well, hold on, Jeff. Don't you work on it. Don't, you know, I'll call Ben Knight, but don't you work on it. Don't you work on it, Max me. You go have a tea cake. Lily Cole.
Shut the front.
Lily Cole. How old's Lily Cole?
How old's Lily Cole? Who is Lily Cole?
I think I know who Lily Cole is. 30.
It's funny, when she stopped playing, she asked to be called Lillian Cole.
Is that right? Yeah.
30 you've gone for. I think she's older.
I've
I'm
gone
gonna say
30.
33.
She is, Lily Cole, the actress, is 38.
Whoa. 2 behind.
So
Sucked him into
Max,
my,
so Max is 8 out onto 42, Charlie 5 out onto 44. So 2 in it with 1 to go, and Max is in the lead.
Exactly
so Max has to go first.
How did you say you sucked me into it? I had to guess Lily Cole's age first.
I know.
You can't say you sucked me into it.
Sucked you into it. Played
so
very well. I've played very well.
The final birthday is William Astor. 4th Viscount Astor, businessman and politician, William Astor. I tried to book him for a speaking engagement when I worked in the supermarket industry. His agent quoted a ridiculous amount, which I queried, but he said, that's Astor price.
That's
Astor price.
Really good.
Other...
The 4th Viscount of, I've definitely played polo with him once, but the 4th, what was it again?
4th Viscount of what?
4th Viscount Astor.
4th Viscount Astor.
William Astor. William
Astor. 4th Viscount.
William Astor. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, William. Here's another horse.
84.
I've got 2, is it, Jeff? So I need to be...
You've got 2, yeah.
3 either way.
3 either way.
You're going to have to go. I've absolutely...
No, I think you've done well there, Max. You've done very well.
Absolutely.
Didn't do too bad there, actually, Alan.
4th Viscount.
Yeah.
Still alive. Outlived the other 3.
But only just.
So you think I'm going to Regals this? I know I'm going to Regals this.
Don't Regals.
And what I'm trying to do is say the one I think, then go the other one.
Lee says, "What's this? I'm never slagging off Andy Jacobs again."
Wow.
Thank you.
81.
They've been pretty good.
He's gone 81. I think you've been great, Jeff. He's Regals it.
Yeah, they've been good, Jeff.
So Max said 84, Charlie said 81. William Astor, the 4th Viscount Astor, is 100. No, he's 74. So Charlie wins. Charlie wins. Congratulations in this exhibition T20.
William
birthday
Astor,
spread.
what a waster. What a waster.
Yeah.
Good news.
Stuff.
Good news.
Thank you, Jeff. Thanks for
Jeff.
the last
Eat
half hour of
it.
the show.
Eat
Greatly
it.
appreciated.
Bye-bye.
Jeff Peters there. Thanks, Charlie. And
Thank
a
you,
nice
Max.
time.
See you tomorrow morning.
Live from Ali Pally, Darren Bent, Andy Goldstein with Drive in just a second.